With Sullivan Tire, New England's headquarters for quality Bridgestone tires. Visit sullivantire.com to find a location near you.
Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Deuce, when you have a sneeze brewing, does it come out black and gold?
Why?
You said you had a sneeze brewing.
Like the Bruins. I got it. Took me a second there. Yeah, she's wearing red all this week. She's
All
in
this
honor
week,
of
I'm wearing
throwback
red.
week.
And that's a shiny red. That's like Paul's disco shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll grace all of you by wearing my purple singlet one of these days. I'll wear
my
that.
God.
He comes in, just slaps his sub down
This is
in
not
the middle
true.
of it.
This is the part.
That's exactly what
It's
happened.
so not true.
How did the Pat Patriot helmets look out there? Did that?
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
sick.
Sick.
Wow, he's
Wow. What would you say the difference in the mood between outdoor and indoor?
I would say
Evan's searching like in his brain.
No,
you just see him like.
it's a good question.
because
so I
the
gotta
poor
think
kid
about
keeps
it.
trying to answer the question legitimately.
Yeah, I'd feel better if Mac was 100% healthy.
Well, can't argue with that.
No, I'm serious.
Starting
I'd feel
So-
better if he never played again.
No,
Like, of course I'd feel better if he was 100% healthy.
And how many teams are picking top 10 year?
Like if you need a
year,
quarterback,
year?
10.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Fueled by Duncan.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, so it's a big day. We got picks. We got to talk about the Lions. And, Matt, that world's original podcast, I think whenever somebody makes like a hot take or a good point, we should play that afterwards. That's sort of like our calling card.
I love it. Like
Yeah.
to punctuate it.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just coming from any
Right.
podcast. This is the world's original
Yeah.
that means
podcast.
that's going to turn into my theme music.
Original podcast.
Right. There you go. So,
It's nice.
Underrated line by you yesterday.
what?
Mike goes, "How many teams do you think are picking in the top 10?" You go 10.
I didn't appreciate that. Thank you.
That was a very, very, very underrated line right there. I think that one kind of got overlooked a little bit.
Jab me.
That's
yeah.
all right. That's all right. All right, so it's Paul, it's me, it's Deuce, it's Matt in the booth. I don't know if anyone else will be joining us
Well,
later, but
we'll get
see.
Evan. Evan will be in.
Evan
after
will be in after practice.
So he'll check out. He'll give us a report on Mac Jones and his ankle. What's he doing out there? Is he getting better? I don't know. We'll see.
And the reviews are in for Catch 22,
Are they?
and they're all glowing.
Oh,
Raves.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Raves.
It was fun.
So they're off to a fast start.
Rave reviews.
Yeah.
Fast start. Let's see if they can keep it up. You know, that's
Yeah.
a big thing. It's about consistency. It's about honor.
Stacking days.
Stacking days.
Whose honor?
our honor?
Yeah.
Fred, whose honor?
Our honor, my honor, your honor.
Your family's honor.
Is that what we're in divorce court? Are we gonna?
Yeah, I
get a
don't
little,
know what's going on there now.
Huh?
Yeah, poor Tom.
Poor Tom. It's just
He
tough
just wants
for
to
him.
play football and have a family. Can't he have both?
Just-
Not that we spend any time really talking about Tom Brady's marriage, but do you think this has anything at all to do with the fact that he won't stop playing? Like,
Yes.
that's there's a much. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get divorced because your husband is working.
Yeah,
And I know it doesn't seem like a real job because it's football, but that's not why they're getting.
Unless
I'm
they
like,
had
I'm
an
sorry.
agreement he went back on.
No,
Like,
I have no
yeah.
doubt that that's a big part of the
Yeah.
the
I'll
conflict.
bet you. I bet you they're each cheating on
like
each other.
so I'm
shouldn't say
I'm
that. It's not
100%. That was a Paul like
Yeah.
flippant thing to say.
Yeah.
They could.
But
though.
I mean, you can't be 100% in love with your spouse and then say, well, you said that you were going to stop this year. You're not. Okay, I'm going to get a divorce. I just don't think it works like that.
Yeah, there's a lot probably going on. So
Of course. But I also
But
just wonder that at the heart of it is there. I don't want to go into it, but like he said he was going to retire. Like, was she in on that decision, or did he just, I'm going to retire and then?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
I feel sorry for those kids.
Yeah.
Well,
It's always the kids that
They'll be
suffer.
all
no,
right.
I mean Tom and Giselle, those kids.
Oh, I thought you meant their actual kids.
I
Yeah.
could care
You
less
know.
about them.
Oh,
I'm
Fred.
just kidding.
Oh,
It's like a whole reversal
just
this week.
kidding.
It's like angry Fred.
Like
mean
a shock
Fred.
jock.
Even I care about the kids.
Shock Jock.
Like the
World's original podcast.
The world's original podcast.
So the injury report came out, Freddie.
Yeah.
I have that in front of me. I don't know if you
Yep.
can see that on the camera over
Yeah, and I don't like Lawrence Guy isn't there.
there. Well,
Oh.
the entirety of the Detroit Lions weren't there.
Yeah.
Like,
Take a breath. Deep breath.
wow. These are just guys that didn't practice. DJ Chark, TJ Hawkinson, Frank Ragnow, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. That's not all of them, but Every one of those guys is an important player.
Yeah.
Didn't practice at all.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. It doesn't. They're all listed with injuries, so I'm not. Sometimes you get it's Wednesday. Guy's banged up a little bit. We're going to give him a day of rest, but we expect him to play. None of these guys say rest. It all says, ankle, shoulder, ankle.
What's Hawkinson?
That's DeAndre Swift, shoulder and ankle. Hawkinson is hip.
Caught too many balls.
And there's some other guys in here too, like Evan Brown and Chris Board. So like Frank Ragnow is the starting center. The other center, Evan Brown, is listed as did not participate in practice. So yeah, they have a lot of injuries too. But yeah, Lawrence Guy was among the guys not practicing yesterday with his shoulder, which I kind of alluded to. Like if he had some limited practices last week, I'd have more confidence of him being available. Now, this also could have been one of those deals where it was kind of a walkthrough, and maybe there wasn't really a lot to do. He didn't really get to do anything anyway. But we'll see.
But usually it's the opposite. Usually in the
He didn't
walkthroughs,
practice.
He didn't practice.
Usually in the walkthroughs, everybody's there.
Well, he was there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there
But they-
except for Brian Hoyer, I believe.
Yeah, it can be deceiving too with like guys like Thornton. I mean, I don't know what the situation with Thornton. He was there, so that starts it. I don't know, but
I believe that
as
it's always dangerous to
walkthrough,
just kind of take what you see on Twitter as fact, but I'm not sure if they have to officially, and I didn't see the wire yesterday. I didn't check the wire last night. I don't know if they have to
start the
officially
clock.
start the clock. I know a lot of people said the clock has officially begun.
Right.
So that they'll have, just so people know what we're talking about, you have 3 weeks from now. So it'd be week 5, 6, and 7, and then if they don't activate him, then he stays on IR for the remainder of the season.
I heard a report this morning that Thornton was wearing a red non-contact jersey, but I thought he was wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the pictures that I saw showed him in a sweatshirt.
Right. So how did anyone know that he had a red contact jersey on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's weird for a walkthrough too to wear. I mean, I guess maybe when a guy's coming back, you start him out in a red jersey anyway.
I guess.
Just to keep everybody away from
He's
him.
the epitome of red non-contact jersey. He's coming off a
Maybe
broken
it's
clavicle.
just in honor of red throwback.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
But
on,
I wouldn't expect him this week, would you guys?
No.
No.
But
No way.
there's a juicy little topic that we can get into that Kendrick Bourne is having a hard time getting consistent snaps. When he does get them, he tends to produce with them. Nelson Aguilar has gotten some snaps, has produced, but also made some bad plays. He had a
Yep.
drop in this last game. He's had a couple of fumbles in
Yep.
prior games. Who loses snaps for Tyquan Thornton?
Yeah, I think. If you look at history of this team, Thornton will not come right in and take away snaps from Aguilar. He'll get maybe 3 or 4 plays in a game, and maybe he'll build from that. But he won't come right in. He won't come right in as a rookie.
I would agree.
Yeah.
What do you feel, Mike?
I feel like I would consider putting him in for Parker. I mean, I think
But what's Parker done wrong?
I was going to say, well, I mean,
not that he's done anything
Parker's
wrong.
gotten the most snaps out of all of those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why, it hasn't been overly productive. I mean, they've targeted him quite a
Okay,
few
so
times.
maybe the
But-
3 or 4 snaps that Thornton
You
gets,
don't
he
see
gets
it.
them from Parker.
You don't see it right.
Well, I think if you just look at Thornton in a bubble, what is he probably going to do coming in? He's probably going to play on the outside and use his speed to stretch the defense. He'll do some comeback stuff. We saw them throw, a little bit of the Parker route tree cutting in, those kind of little plays too from him. So I don't know. I would just say in the middle of the field where Parker's maybe more of a red zone guy, put Thornton out there when you're in between the 20s, use his speed, and just try to get him involved. That doesn't mean that he has to take all of Javonte Parker's snaps, but I think when you're in certain situations, you mix it up a little bit. So maybe they lose track of Parker, you get down to the 19, and then it's contested catch
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I
fade to the
like
end zone.
I like your thoughts. And we're all just sort of throwing it out there because who knows what Bill's going to do ultimately. But I also wonder, and I made the comment at the start of the season, I wonder if they look at it, if everybody's healthy, and you maybe make a deal for Kendrick Bourne, who can't seem to establish himself as a
Right.
big part of the offense every week. Again, in 20-odd snaps, he tends to catch a couple of passes, and we don't know why he's not getting more of a look than that, but clearly that's what they want to do. It
Trade-
hasn't,
trade
right,
the-
Mike? It hasn't really increased.
Trade deadlines this month, right?
after week 8, I believe.
After week 8?
Probably
Yeah.
like early November, probably.
Yeah, it's usually around the Halloween
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
In that area. So you have a few more weeks. I'm wondering if let's say that no one gets traded, no wide receiver gets traded. If Jacoby Myers comes back and everybody's healthy, I wonder if they look at it and say everybody's healthy, we really don't have a spot.
Yeah.
And Thornton ends up staying on IR, which I would find incredibly disappointing.
Oh, yeah. I would be very much against that.
Well, okay. So let's
Mike's
say
going to write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with the record at the time the decision needs to be made?
That's a great point too. I mean, all these factors come in. If they're, if they rebound the way a lot of us expect them to, then yeah, you could probably get away with that. But if they don't,
See, I was thinking the opposite.
if they struggle, then you want to get your young guys some time.
Well, I was thinking the opposite. If you see no hope for the season, let's keep him an IR.
No,
But
see,
if you
I'm the
see
opposite.
hope, then let's get him.
I
in
look
there.
at it, if you see no hope for the season, let's say they lose this week and next week.
Yeah.
Okay, disastrous, right?
Right.
You're 1-5.
Right.
Right. You're kind of out of it. Then I want to get him out there, and I want to lessen the roles for like Aguilar
Right.
and Myers, who are pending free agents.
Yeah.
That's the big point for me. I mean, unfortunately, I think Nelson Aguilar has looked pretty good. I mean, I know he's made some mistakes, but going back to camp, he looks fast, he looks involved, he looks, invested, but I still can't help but look at him as a lame duck kind of player. I'm struggling to see them re-sign him. I think in a perfect world, Thornton slips into that role and you re-sign Myers. So I don't think it really matters about the record. I just think this team is all about, we need to find really good star players, and you have a player with elite speed that showed a lot in training camp. Just get him out there. I don't care if you win the next 2, you lose the next 2, you tie the next 2. Put him out there, get him experience. So next year you come in and you say, all right, yeah, we lost Aguilar, but Thornton showed a lot after he came back from the injury. He's bringing an element of speed. We can do some different things with him. That would be my thought. I just get him out there ASAP.
I would rather see him out there, no question. But I'm just wondering if it doesn't, become completely apparent how you get him in there. Like, is it just adding a wide receiver and then just saying we got to find a way to get them all sometime? Does little Jordan Humphrey go? I don't know. You cut him and put him back on the practice squad or something. I don't have the answer.
But that's an interesting thing, Paul, you bring up, because
it's a problem.
As Humphrey hasn't been productive, they clearly like him for a role
that
so
the
how
others
do you,
can't do.
Right. So how do you kind of balance a role player but a lack of production?
How do you get Thornton snaps?
Because their running game has been productive.
Is
so
my
you could
question
give
is
some credit.
that, like, how do you get Thornton snaps? They can't get Bourne snaps, or they don't want to, depending on how you look at it. And again, I'm not coming at you with, oh yeah, this is they're doing this right, they're doing this wrong. I don't know how they feel about all these guys. I'm just going by our age-old thing of what we see.
Right.
And what we see is Aguilar and Parker involved all the time. Myers is the number 1 guy in the first 2 games when he was healthy.
Right.
Right? I don't think they're going anywhere. Now, maybe that'll change. Maybe, Aguilar, I think some of these mistakes are starting to pile up. I thought that was a bad drop this week. I thought he could have cut. I thought that was Bailey Zappi's best pass.
Yeah, you got to catch that for the rookie.
Yeah.
I also just say, though, too, to Bourne, like, he looked good last week to me. Like, he's quick. I think there's something there that they can use. I just wish they would find. We saw it last week with the reverse, but he just has a knack for cutting the ball up. And when he gets in his hands, he tends to be, I don't think that he's a burner by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think off the line he's giving anybody problems, but
he's looking to make extra yards.
He does. He just has a knack when he has the ball in his hands of knowing where to go and knowing how to maximize the carries. So it's tough. It's a great question, I think, and the more we talk about it, the more I lean
Play the music
into Parker. Eat into his snaps a little bit.
I'm telling you, if we could get some production out of our tight end, and now I know Jonnu Smith's hurt, so we're down to 1. But I think we've got some pieces on offense, and I started the season saying this, and I'm going to stick to it. We've got the pieces on offense to be good.
Definitely.
The world's original.
Thank you.
I think we need at least one
That was
show
for
where
me.
we just overdo it. I think today's the day. Just fire at Will Morrell. Like we need to put this thing.
But now obviously we took a step back because we're now down to our 3rd string quarterback. But I think we've got the pieces on offense to be good.
Well, I think that the question I'm wondering is why is the lack of production at tight end? Like it seems, is it a scheme thing? Is it a quarterback thing? Is the intention to push the ball down the field, eating into some of those snaps? But I think there's been a good number of times, over these 4 games that you've looked at some key plays and said, "Ooh, had Hunter Henry on that one."
I think it's because teams can man up on us, and like some teams. So you can flood the middle. You can have like 2 guys in the middle, whereas a lot of times you just see the tight ends kind of wide open down the middle because guys on the outside, beg attention. I think right now guys can play man up out on the outside, and so
it's clogging up the
tight
middle.
end, the middle is clogged, and maybe that changes when Thornton's here if he plays, because he is so fast that. That safety has to pay a little attention to him and can't stay, home in the middle.
Yeah.
So I just think I see other teams with guys who aren't that great. They're decent tight ends, and, they're making 1 or 2 catches, like, and averaging like 12 yards a catch,
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm looking for right now.
I know. That's why it's just a disconnect. Because it reminds me of 2019 when it was like they had nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
That's
at tight end.
That's a good point. Like when you have Ryan Izzo and Matt Lacoste,
right?
And you're not getting a lot of production, you can sort
then
of
you can
understand
understand that.
When you have 2 $50 million tight ends and Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, you should be able to get at least a couple of plays a week, and they're really not.
No,
they're really not getting any plays. Smith has a handful of catches, but he's not making any plays with them, and Henry's an afterthought. He's not even getting targeted.
Do you agree? Like, you watch NFL,
Yeah, 100%.
And there's always that tight end that's like downfield 20 yards.
Well, I just would need to know like who you're talking about.
Games in the NFL.
No, I know, and I get it, and I do agree. I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you, but like I think that's something that would need to be sort of explained on a case-by-case basis. Like,
I know, but it just seems that no matter what game, it's not a lot of plays. Like, there's still, like, Mark Edwards burned us.
Right, well,
he had a lot. I'm not talking about that.
No, you're talking about average to below average tight ends.
Average tight ends.
My guess is they have better wide receivers and quarterbacks if they're making those kinds of plays on any kind of a consistent basis.
Maybe.
That's why I said, like, I wonder who you're talking about.
That's kind of my point, is that no one on our team, demands double coverage.
They're all kind
at this point.
they're all kind of the same, and that works good. I think that's a good thing in a way, and a bad thing. But I think you could definitely have a lot of different guys that are capable of, leading the team that week, and that's good. We've seen Myers have his games. We've seen Parker had his game against Baltimore. We've seen Aguilar make plays. When Bourne gets out, like, they're all capable of making plays, but do you have a guy that's capable of occupying the other team's attention?
Right.
And I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
No, and that's why anybody's capable of it, and that's why I'm like, why haven't the tight ends then? Like, there should have at least in here been like one game where they had a little bit of production. I don't know. They're good in the red zone. I think that maybe has to do with it. Like, not getting down there.
They
as
haven't
much
been
and
in the
not
red zone a ton.
Being
That's
able
true.
to target Hunter Henry and where he was best last year, but it's just. Here we are 2 years out of signing these 2 tight ends, and you feel like you're
I just
spinning
look
your
at it
wheels.
like last year he had
why?
he had 50 catches and 9 touchdowns, so it wasn't just all red zone. 50 catches is okay.
Some
Yeah.
great
Like, it's
catches,
it's
too.
not all pro worthy.
Middle
but
of
he
the
had,
field against
he had-
Cleveland,
he had
that beautiful
50
one.
He had 50 catches, and the other guy had like 30. Right? Smith had like 30.
Yep.
Something like that. And now they have like
12,
like,
I think, something like that.
they don't even have targets. Like, they
Right.
don't even get thrown 2.
It's weird, you know?
I can't quite explain it. I mean, it's
Now in the last game, everyone points to that one play in overtime where, Hunter Henry was doing like a shallow cross, and he seemed to uncover right away, and Zappi didn't get him the ball,
Yeah, I'm not necessarily like the Green Bay game is not, but like you got a third string rookie
Right,
quarterback.
yeah.
You got to take what you get.
yeah.
But the first 3 games, he was not targeted really at all.
I think this is another fascinating game. It poses a whole different set of issues for the Patriots and opportunities. With Detroit's defense, should you be able to score? I think you should. But
Yes.
now you go back to, but it's Bailey Zappi.
Right.
How high should our expectations be for points with him in the game? And, you
Well,
know,
if you have as good an offense as you think that they do, then they should be able to score.
no, that's with Mac. With Mac.
No, but you're talking about the
I
players.
didn't say that at the beginning of the season thinking Bailey
No.
Zappi was going to be the quarterback.
No, and I'm not telling you it's fair to just say they should go out and roll up 38 points every week with Bailey Zappi. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if the
if
game
you
plan-
have all of the pieces in place that you think that they do,
No.
you should be able to score some points against the worst defense in football.
But if the game plan this week is handoff, 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 that's going to it's going to shorten the game and limit the points
But I think they
by
just-
design.
No,
Right. Well,
for both
but
teams.
I'm not. Don't fixate on the number of points. Fixate on the percentage of drives that you score.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if
No, all
if
right.
they scored 28 points because they only had 6 possessions in the game,
I'll take it.
I don't need 40.
Right. No, I get you.
You know,
yeah.
if they're putting together like
How efficient are
yeah,
they?
if you're putting
Yeah.
together a 14-play touchdown drive and it took you a long time to score,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Like I don't want to punt 6 times.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Well, then it just
But
Detroit.
you know that begs now your running game has to be effective. It's
Right.
got to work,
and
There's a
Detroit's
lot of-
got to know
and
that.
it should against this team.
You-
Right?
I mean, don't
Right.
you stack the box and blitz the crap out of them?
100%. And that's why
If
I
you're
think
Detroit,
like
Yeah.
yeah, as
Stack
much
the
as
box
you-
and blitz.
As much as you look at Detroit and say this is what we know about their defense, well, I mean they're going against the third-string quarterback, so I think they're going to stack the box and say you're just not going to beat us with Harrison Stevenson. And if you want to throw it down the field on one-on-one coverage, or you'll have guys that can break loose deep. Good luck. Try to hit
and
them.
I would imagine that regardless of what Zappi knows up to this point, this week they're practicing blitz killers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a package in there for him, to kill the blitz.
Yep.
Now, a lot of that has to do with him recognizing it. Because you can disguise the blitz and you don't know what's coming, and there it is.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that they're working on, whether it's screens, draw plays, or, just those little rainbow passes over the first level. I imagine that they're working on plays specifically for him to, combat the blitz.
Yeah, that's what David Andrews talked about yesterday of Detroit being a spin-the-dial blitz kind of team, coming from anywhere. They'll send defensive backs. Belichick mentioned that too, so I agree 100%. And that's, but you also wonder, like, how are they going to manage blitzing the crap out of them, but also, not making sure they get beat deep, so it's a little bit of a balancing act for them, I think. But would you really worry about it? Would you really worry about, hey, let's just send 7 guys on this play, third and long? Like,
Oh, if I'm
I just
Detroit,
think third
I
and
don't
long
worry
is
about
an
it.
absolute.
No, I do it until they tell me I can't.
Until
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
proves that he can
Right.
pick it up. I would agree.
And you feel like you can score too if you're Detroit. So it's not like you're like, well, we've got a very thin, like if we they're going to put up points, I would guess. I don't know. I mean, how many points do you think the Patriots need to put
win
up
this
in this
game? Well, based on what
over 25.
over 25.
Get over 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna I don't think you're winning 17-13.
Right.
It's not going to be a Steelers game.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, we all, that happened to be one that we got right. We've had a
No.
million examples of games that we got wrong.
Now-
like, we think it's going to be this kind of game, and it's completely the opposite.
Now, if the tight end's out, I like our chances a little bit
Hockenson.
more. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, if the tight end's out in St. Brown and all these
Well, they
receivers,
were out last week
if
too.
They're, if they're back in, then I don't
if
care
all-
about the
what
tight
I'm
end.
saying is, if all those guys on that list are out,
Yeah, then you should be able to slow down this offense.
yeah.
I think though Hawkins. I mean, he finished the game healthy, right? Like I don't know. I would expect, but you never know, right? You never know.
Maybe
Don't
Dan
know.
Campbell bit off his kneecap.
We'll see today.
Great job.
When the injury report comes out today, maybe a lot of these guys will
Yeah.
be listed as limited.
I go back to, Deuce, you did your roundtable questions this morning, and I'll
Were they
give
okay this week?
Yeah,
I was going to ask them.
All right.
One of the questions was, what's your key matchup?
Mhm.
And I said it's Belichick versus Dan Campbell
Oh,
because
then forget it then. The
Well-
game is over.
no, because in Bill's summary on Wednesday when he goes over the team, he did not say well coached, but he did say that they're very aggressive. So I look for Bill to try to play off that aggressiveness and make them make mistakes because of that aggressiveness.
Let me ask you, if you think that Detroit's going to be really aggressive defensively in this game, I kind of agree with you. Would you keep that same aggressiveness if Mac Jones plays?
Yes.
I would too. I would too, because he can't move.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I mean, I just
Yeah, we all got a chance to see some of those videos.
Like,
He was not moving very well yesterday.
I know. Who was? I think it was Giardi, your guy, Paul.
No, he said that there's a lack of stability in the ankle.
He was saying he's raising up on his toes. I didn't see him once.
He
raise
looked
up
like
on
he
his
had
toes.
absolutely no pop in his leg. I just after watching that video, I found myself saying, "What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, this guy should be resting." I think. Like I don't think he has any chance to get out there this weekend. I feel like, and what we talked about it last week, that this is an overreaction to like prove that he's tough, and I really worry that someone needs to be like, take his helmet and be like, get healthy, get out of here. You need to get off
Kind
the
of like
field.
when I take your shoelaces away on post
Right,
shows.
exactly. So I can't harm myself. He's gonna harm himself out there. Like watching the video, you can see the mobility that he does not have in his ankle. He has no push off of his toe. It's all just like he's wearing a boot off of his
flat
heel.
foot. Yeah.
Flat foot the whole time. So you're going to try to play an NFL game with that? Like I think it's ridiculous that
Now-
I think he needs to rest.
The other thing with Detroit, if Aaron Glenn, has something going, I know they're struggling. I know that, it's the worst defense in football. I would also try to do a bunch of things where I'm showing the blitz, and then I'm occasionally dropping out of it and seeing
Sure.
if I can get Zappy to throw one to me.
Right. Yep.
Test him.
Because you got to think it's going to come out quick. The blitz is coming. Here's my hot. You know what the hot's going to be if you're Detroit. You take it away.
I mean, I know last week had Zappy been able to pull off the win, it would have been like amazing. I still think if they win this game, it'll be amazing with a third string quarterback.
I would have
do.
to see it. Like if they went out and won 41-38, I would agree with 1,000% with you. I think that would be an absolutely amazing accomplishment. If they win the game because Detroit craps all over themselves the
And
way
had
that
no
they kind of
players.
have and have no players, then that's the kind of game you win with a
it's-
third string quarterback.
It's lining up to be a 2021 context win.
The Houston,
you
win.
know?
Like the Jacoby Brissett against
Right.
Houston game, where they fumbled 2 kickoffs inside the 20, and they allowed the quarterback to just take a snap and run around the end for a touchdown. Like, if you win because of that, that's not the same as like if he just plays conventional offense, football, and he's like carving up the Lions. I'm with Fred. That to me would be an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah.
All right, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. 855-PATS-500. Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. I guess we're doing video today, huh?
We are.
We're on the video.
We are.
That's why I haven't eaten anything yet because I
Yeah.
don't want to give everybody
Okay.
get everybody too excited about my pizza consumption.
Not even the candy? I got some candy.
Oh, I had some gobstoppers.
Some rock candy.
Let's go to
I didn't
the
have any rock candy.
let's go to the Ace Ticket Hotline. Hear what people have to say. We'll start with Vinny in Vegas. What's up, Vinny?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, I haven't called in a long time, but I stay loyal to you guys. I hear all the shows.
Thank you.
The first thing I want to say, Fred, is you brought in some new blood. Listen, I love Paul. Paul is my favorite, right? But you brought in some new blood. You've added some new podcasts. For a long time you were pretty status quo, right? With the show and so I think you've done some really good stuff. I give you all the props for being progressive and keeping things going.
Well, listen, everybody chipped in. Deuce is the one who hired Evan Lazar. I didn't. I just okayed it.
Oh.
But yeah, Deuce is brought him. He's been an advocate for years. So
Yeah, I heard Evan call him the boss. So I don't know. Listen, I would tell him the boss is me, right, Fred? I'm the boss. So don't call anybody else the boss here.
oh, is that right? Is that right, people? Oh, I don't
You're
like
the
that.
boss man. There's only one boss man.
You're the boss man.
You're the boss man.
Who's called Mike the
So
Boss
I
in
actually-
Catch-22 yesterday?
I wanted to, I would say, keep Mac away. Listen, he's probably going to get hurt more, and then the season is over. I mean, let's just wait another week and give him time to heal. I think they do need to take, like you said, the keys away from him and say, you need to stay.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a bad decision. I have a feeling that if he goes in there, he's going to get hurt even more, and then the season it really is down the
Right.
crapper.
I mean, like if he's a sitting duck, you forget about the ankle. He could get hurt in some other way.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I just think it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
I do
I'm with
have
you,
another
Vinny.
I have
All right.
another question real quick for you guys, and I know you have to do picks today, so
Yeah,
be
please
quick.
hurry.
Yeah, we got to
please.
hurry. Yep.
Yeah, it might not be for today. You might want to do it for another day. But, I did hear that, and I heard that the the shotgun, is a little easier to defend than the under center because there's a lot more things you can do from under center. I'm wondering what you guys think about that, and maybe the idea that the Patriots are easy to defend because that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, I guess that. Thanks, Vinny. I guess that was a discussion on the show with Dan Orlovsky, and it's like 4 people, and they were talking about it. And the other guy, it wasn't Orlovsky, said that when you're under center, you have a lot more options than when you're running shotgun.
Yeah. Well, that's why they go from. I mean, college teams are all shotgun. I mean, that was Mac. That was definitely Bailey Zappi. Everything's in front of them. It's a whole new world going under center and having to take those snaps and having to
But
drop
do you
back.
agree that you have more options under
sure.
center?
Well, yeah, because you can run the ball in different ways. The only way you're going to run the ball out of shotgun is by catching the snap and handing it to the guy next to you.
Right.
In general. I mean, you could run some jet sweeps, I suppose, out of the shotgun. But you have the entirety of a running game and passing game under center. But I don't think that makes you easier or harder to defend.
I don't either. I mean, I guess, you can do a 2-step drop and get rid of it. But with a shotgun, you can get rid of the ball quicker.
Yeah. And I think I mean, there's a reason why the majority of plays are used out of the shotgun. Like, if all of these teams thought it was harder to defend under center, they wouldn't be like 60% shotgun.
Right.
Or whatever the percentage is.
And I think quarterbacks like shotgun better because you get to
all
see
right
a little
there.
bit.
You don't have to turn your back on the play. You
Right.
know? I mean, it's all right there. And that's why with a guy like Zappi, that's what they're going to do. I mean, make it easy on him. Don't, throw him into – I mean, they'll try to do a little bit of under center stuff, but it's clear what he's comfortable with and what he's experienced with.
And they had Bailey Zappi under center a lot the other day because they're going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Conventionally, they were running, as Evan says, they ran a lot of gap power and they ran a lot of zone. So they're going to do that. And when you run the ball as often as they did the other day, that's going to open up play action. Like, I've also seen a lot of word about the Patriots. Bailey Zappi runs play action better than Mac. They have to get Mac up to speed. This is not about running it more effectively or more often. When you have a game where you have your third-string quarterback and the other team is just saying, we ain't playing pass.
Right.
We're just going to stop the run. Yeah, you're going to have play-action opportunities because they're not playing the pass at all. When Mac Jones is playing quarterback, you have to play both.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So they can't just run play action every play and have it work, Paul?
No, Ben. Ben Volen.
Let's go to John in L.A. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. I want to reiterate that Fred, as the GM of PFWPU, Andy and Eric leaving and bringing in Megan and then replacing Megan, bringing in Deuce and then Tamara and Alex and Evan and Catch-22. It's great. It's so good. I wish you could take over the front office of the team because
it's average at best.
I mean, I can't.
I'm a better GM than I am a coach.
We've lost a lot of talent over the years.
Fred the coach is just kills Fred.
We're struggling.
But you keep the core of
We've
Fred
been in a bit of a
Ball.
draft lull lately.
Well, I think that makes Paul Brady. That makes the 20-year long tenured. Been taking pay cuts.
I think
You're selling me on it now.
I think he's had some work done. I think he's had some work done.
His stomach didn't used to be that big. I think he's had some work done.
Yeah.
Refuses to eat strawberries. Yeah.
Nightshades.
Sorry.
So it would be great if Deuce, if we could have the version on the team of Deuce with the content. Could we have drafted Devin Lloyd, please? Everyone was saying we were going to do, or at least was a good match for the system.
Yeah.
A dynamic playmaker in the front seven.
Yep.
At a position that we're we have nothing.
Yeah.
And we're bringing in Jay Collins. Devin Lloyd's lighting up the league, doing what everyone said they would do. I don't understand. I understand back in the day, the draft industrial complex was not, as great as what Belichick and his guys could come up with. They didn't want to go with the sort of overall one that most of the other teams did.
Right.
But now it's, 15, 20 years later.
There's so much information available.
There's so much more information. There's so many more people who are, making there's scouts out there doing it. It's a real thing, and it's really frustrating to me that honestly, my mom could have drafted better than Bill Belichick over the last 7 years, with me whispering in her ear, saying,
Mom Ernie
take Devin Lloyd, take Debo, don't not take Debo because he tweeted something.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
I'm right there with you. All right, John.
The
Hey,
thing with Debo,
what?
Okay, all right. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Okay.
right.
Thanks.
The world's
I mean, that's-
original.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah, I
No,
but
but
he is a script writer, so
No, I know.
No, he's dramatic. That's good. Passionate. I'm with him though on Devin Lloyd, and that was like one. Remember, we talked a lot about that, and I mean, of course,
we wanted
have
the
this,
linebacker.
that.
And
I
I knew it was
know.
going to play out like this because I knew that Cole Strange would ultimately be your day one starter at guard. Fine, great. And now everybody's going to say because of that, see,
But
told ya.
would you-
Like,
what-
there's
what-
a million guys. Like,
would you rather have Devin Lloyd and Cole Strange in the second round and not have Thornton?
Well, at this point, it's hard to say. 'Cause
Right.
I haven't really seen Thornton. I mean,
Right,
but
that's
based
how
on
about,
what we
how
saw,
about Devin Lloyd, Tyquan Thornton, and instead of Bailey Zappi in the fourth round, Cole Strange there?
Oh,
Because
see,
that's
now-
where he was like slated to go. Like, that's apples to apples.
I know. Yeah,
that would have been a steal.
but then you don't have Marcus Jones.
And but beyond that, like I happen to
all
see,
connected.
I think I saw it in clips. I think the Athletic put together like at the quarter poll very early, 4 games. Like let's not get lost with Devin Lloyd. We'll see what he ends up being. Right now, he looks like he's a great pick. But they had like the rookies by position, the top rookie performers by position, and Kenyon Green and Zion Johnson were listed at guard, and Cole Strange was not. So those are 2 guards that got taken. And I understand they got taken, before, Zion Johnson went before the Patriots were at 21. But there were options that you could have made. Like, you didn't just have to take the next guard.
Yeah.
Is my point. And I'm not telling you, I think Cole Strange has been fine. I'm not telling you he's been a bust. He's been fine. He's had his moments, good and bad. But I just feel like there were better players than Cole Strange available in the first round, regardless of position. And I kind of thought that's what Bill always sort of focused on is if the guys are similar, then we're going to take the position of need.
Right.
But if not, we're going to go for who we think is the better player.
Right.
I think they kind of got into a little bit of need on that pick.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you guys always say, what do they do? And I mean, I think that the signing of Jamie Collins at this point, like, what does that say? And I can tell you that I don't think the linebacker play has been very good, and other people will say that as well. But
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
This tells you they kind of agree with you. And it's, we can't keep going back to this well. And it's just, that's what's frustrating is that, I think on the surface you thought, oh, yeah, they're trying to balance the safeties at linebacker and all that. And, all right, they're going to bring Juwan Bentley back, and all right, I think I'm on board. And it's just like it looks the same. It looks the same, and we talk about the run defense problems. And I'm just last year I remember getting into the draft and being like, I'm just on Nakobe Dean and Lloyd. Those are the 2 guys. And now to see how well Lloyd is playing, I haven't been as up on what Dean's been doing.
Dean's not playing.
No,
Not playing defense. He's just kind of playing special
Special
teams.
What's Raekwon McMillan's status?
It's a broken thumb, So I mean, I think that's like derailed some of that plan that they haven't been able to play him as much as they might want to.
But he
is
wasn't
gonna
playing well.
He wasn't playing well, and is he going to be the answer once he gets going? I mean, I think you're all right. He's off an ACL. Like you give him a little bit of time here early in the season.
I agree.
But
That's true.
at the same time, they're going out to get Collins because they need more from that position. And
Do you think he'll be active this week?
I don't know. Well, Bill
Who,
said
Collins?
yesterday he had some
Yeah.
off-season surgery, so
Yeah, I doubt it.
I would probably think it's a long shot, but I don't know.
So
You
the
never know.
move yesterday with Marcus Cannon, is that now permanent?
Yeah. What do you mean? Is he
They
up?
moved
Well,
him
yeah,
up to
he's
the
up to the
53.
roster
But that's
now.
it.
Yeah. He's officially
Because I thought they
promoted.
did that last week, but I guess
No, it was
not.
just an elevation from the
Okay.
standard.
I thought that
elevation
they
from the
signed
practice
him
squad.
to the active roster last week, but I guess not.
No, he was a
'cause-
practice squad guy initially.
And
yeah.
then they
No,
brought
I
him-
know
you
initially.
brought him up for the
yeah.
game.
I know initially
Oh,
the
you thought
first.
they promoted
yes, I
him.
thought they promoted him by signing him to the active roster because he was ready. He was on the practice squad for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Let's
But he can't go back now unless they have to
Now,
cut him.
now Hughes can't go back.
Well, they have to cut him
Right.
in order,
then they
like
have to-
like little Jordan Humphrey
Mhm.
will be in the same kind of situation.
let's go to Melvin in Tennessee. What's up, Melvin?
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Hey.
Melvin.
With this game it's a weird game because I guess obviously I feel pretty confident that we should win, but also with that being stated, I think you're going to need close to probably 25 and up to slow down this team. I mean, you all have already said it, that the Lions just score a lot of points. So it's hard for me to just feel as confident with the backups in and everything like that. Even me, with Mac Jones, I didn't feel that confident scoring 30. So I think it's going to be one of these. The defense is going to have to really put on one of their best performances to really limit them, and that's something that I guess is curious because these last couple of weeks, I mean, I thought they were – I know they're not that same defense anymore, but back in the day, it still feels like some of their bad defenses would still limit somebody. I mean, we played Green Bay. They ran, did whatever they normally do. Aaron Jones did whatever he wanted to do. I mean, when we played the Ravens, they got the ball to Mark Andrews. It just seems like we're not limiting people as much. I'm sure that has to do with personnel, but still, it's just different to me, the seeing that they're not at least – get in their way. So I feel confident that we can win, but I think the Patriots, even with that, you're going to need probably at least 28 points to beat a team like this.
Possibly.
So
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And that would be below their game average. So,
Right. I feel
Thanks,
like
Melvin.
The 24 is the fewest that they've scored. So I think that's a goal. Like, see if you can match that. And he's right. Melvin's right. Like, you don't have a ton of confidence in the offense in general yet, but this is the kind of defense last year when they faced it, they got 50.
Right.
With Mac Jones.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of defenses that they feast on. Bad defenses that overcommit. They're aggressive to a fault. These are the kinds of defenses that Josh and Bill would have for lunch. And the question will be, how much will they be able to take advantage of that stuff if it's Bailey Zappi?
Right. I don't think they
it's
will.
An unknown. It's an unknown.
They're not going to be able to do what they've done in the past.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head of why is this just such an intriguing matchup to me. I think it's just going to be a roller coaster game of back and forth, kind of big plays, mistakes. Like, I don't know if the
first
Lions
quarter is
can get the Patriots to play that style. Like, in some ways, I feel like the Patriots need to not play down to that style and just stay within themselves and not get into that kind of back and forth big play mistake fest that the Lions seem to really thrive in. But, I don't know if I'll be surprised if they totally shut down this offense, but I have a little bit in like the back of my head of like, do they just kind of put it together and they kind of have a feel for Goff and, they're going to be just so shorthanded. And again, it'll be after the game. They shut him out.
Yeah. If there's no one playing, that's different. If they have a reasonable amount of personnel, I mean, it's Wednesday. We'll see what this looks like.
Thursday.
No, but I mean
the
Wednesday injury report.
I've been losing track of time.
I don't see them shutting them down, but I do see the possibility of, like Detroit has won the toss. They've elected to defer. The Patriots went on a 11-play, 75-yard touchdown drive that featured 9 runs by Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, and they go up 7-0. And then the Lions come out and maybe get 2 first downs and then get a pass over the middle in the middle of a zone that someone deflects and it gets picked off, and the Patriots go 50 yards in another 9 plays and it's 14-0. Game, set, match. That's game. That's the formula that the Patriots have used to win games without Tom Brady. When they get that kind of an edge early, now I see Goff might get some yards up and down, but with a 14-point cushion, Belichick ain't coughing that up. And I would have immense confidence in them being able to hand the ball off, unlike Dan Campbell up 10 in the fourth quarter in Minnesota, going for 4th and 6 from his own 40. Bill's not going to do that. Bill's not going to do stupid stuff like that. So that's the formula.
Touchdown on the first drive, or first win the toss.
No, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean. Yeah. Like, I think if it just plays out conventionally and it's like they score, you score, you score, they score, I think you're going to have a hard time stopping their offense if their personnel is there. Yeah. But if you can get a lead, now I think you can hold them to like 17, with 3 turnovers that allow you to control the game from start to finish. And, you get something to feel good about going into Cleveland. I think that's the formula.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. Willems and Phillum. What's up, William?
I still think that's going to happen.
What's going?
Hey.
How you doing, Fred? What's going on?
You tell me.
Just listen to Patriots Unfiltered, my number 1 podcast.
There you go.
I love it.
Where's Matt?
He's scrambling.
World's original podcast.
There you go.
Just want to give y'all praise and then give you 2 questions. I know y'all get to your picks and whatnot. First, just want to say, whatever you need from me, if you need me, keep calling. Whatever you need, I'm there for y'all.
Okay.
Oh,
thank you.
All right.
Well, we need you to keep
All
calling.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
So my first question is this. All right. So just a little bit of a push. Well, is Jameson Williams starting for Detroit?
No. He's on IR start of the season.
Oh, he's on IR. All right. Thank God. Jesus. Because that would have tortured us. All right. So a little pushback on what you were saying, Fred. You said we have pieces and whatnot, but you see how the callers are questioning what's going on because we might lose this game?
Yeah.
And how important it is that we need. So you know what I'm saying?
No, I listen, I think it all comes down to the quarterback. You know, even with Mac, I don't think he's there yet. And so, like, I think a better quarterback would be able to do more with these pieces, you know, but Mac's still learning.
Okay. And last but not least, okay, so why would you want to sign back Jacoby Myers when you can just go ahead and get Calvin Ridley? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, we want better weapons, better pieces, as you say, basically. But why bring back Jacoby Myers? I guess what? Because he's the only one that can get open, basically.
Yeah, I think he's been good.
I think he's been productive. I mean, I'm not going to bang down the door if they don't re-sign him. But
right.
I mean, what has he done wrong? He's been productive every opportunity.
The question is, can you have Calvin Ridley and Jacoby Myers?
Well, sure, but why are we into a guy who hasn't played in 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I like Calvin Ridley. I think he's a really good player, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is now.
Doesn't he have didn't he leave the game because he's
and then he got suspended for gambling on the game.
Right. So
yeah. Okay, gentlemen.
All right, William. And joining us is Evan, and guess what?
Evan has returned from practice. Evan has returned from practice. Yeah, Evan has returned from practice. What was the mood? Who wasn't there? What did he see?
Evan, tell us all the news.
I know. I got to pull out my notes for this one.
Ooh, we got notes.
There's a lot of
Wow.
just my tweet
Copious
that had all
notes.
the notes, right? So, anyways, Mac Jones at practice for the Patriots on Thursday. About the same level of participation as what we saw yesterday. Very, very brief media portion today, just stretching. But during stretching, the quarterbacks were throwing, and Mac was in line, participating in the throwing drills. And I would say we're probably headed towards another limited day at practice like he was yesterday. Now they had the uppers on today, some shells and shorts, so maybe a little bit more ramped up from the walkthrough yesterday. So it's going to be really interesting to see what his level of participation is, because I think yesterday they didn't do much contact-wise, so there wasn't really any need to hold him out significantly. So we'll see today with a little bit more of a ramp-up what happens with Mac. Tyquan Thornton was also back out there today, so he's back out there for the second straight day. And we also saw Lawrence Guy, who was at practice yesterday and today, but then a DMP yesterday. So they're still playing that game with the injury report. So the only guy missing was Brian Hoyer, who's still dealing with that concussion. Jonnu Smith back as well on Thursday.
Was he moving around okay?
He was. He was moving, stretching, with everybody else, and looked like he was taped up pretty significantly on that ankle, but that's to be expected.
I was watching the video of Mac out there. It seems kind of the same thing, right? Like, just he can't really – he's like he's in a boot, but he's not in a boot.
Yeah, I would say that there's very limited motion, range of motion there. But he's throwing the ball, and he's – I think what we're seeing yesterday and today is definitely just testing it out and seeing how much can he actually do out there. And I think at this point you hope that there's not really any threat, especially in practice, of re-injuring it or getting it more severely injured. So might as well go out there, throw some balls, maybe do a little bit of light work and see how much he can push the ankle.
So we're back outside today. Yeah.
No,
very nice day out.
Nice day out.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Short sleeves.
Did that affect the mood at all?
I think it's always interesting when you have an injury with the quarterback, right? And everybody comes in and it's like a horde just trying to get their number 10 pictures, right? And they got the video guys, they're quickly setting up their cameras. The guys are shooting through binoculars. We got Eric Adler out there with the long lens, trying to get the picture of Mac.
It's but it's so funny. I see in the press box these guys using their binoculars and taking pictures through. It's like,
here's the Zapruder film of
no
Mac
matter
Jones
what
at
you
practice.
do, it's not going to look good. So don't bother. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
Some big binocular pick guys on the beat for sure.
Oh man, part of this almost feels a little to me like the Brady thing, where no, don't rest, don't ice, just keep moving. Like, isn't that kind of like the TB12 philosophy a little bit? Is not like with injuries. Not, I mean, maybe we should get Jana down here. She's the TB12 guy. But like that's what I'm kind of getting the vibe of don't rest it, keep it moving, stay on it, try to get it moving quicker.
Doesn't it depend what it is? I mean,
I don't know. That's like what I always took from that TB12 book that they sent me a free copy of. Thank you very much. Back when my blogging days, so I did dive into that a little bit.
Pardo.
That's right. But it's like it goes back to like icing. Is icing still good for you? I know that's like something that's kind of under debate now. Of like, should you ice? And
worked for me. My
which
shoulder
one?
thing. Oh. I finally
6
started
months
icing.
Later.
No, well, I finally started icing and it went away.
Yeah, all right.
I definitely think there's some truth to that. Just from what you read and hear, obviously all of us are trying to absorb as much high ankle sprain knowledge as we possibly
Well, we're not
can.
watching surgery.
No.
I could just see Paul with his, he's trying to click the TV. Oh, my shoulder.
Well, it does click into place every once in a while, even now.
Yeah.
Happens when I'm driving and I go to put the directional on.
Yeah, I'm just wondering like what you're using your shoulder for.
What do you like?
Other
Are you
than
like
changing the TV
Riggs?
channel?
You like Riggs? You gotta like bang your shoulder in and out depending on the situation.
I'm getting too old for this.
He's out back baling hay.
You still bale that hay?
You gonna take a break so I can eat? Start making fun of me.
All right. All right. Oh, Reed. After break. Okay, so this one. Hey, Patriots fans, I'm here to tell you about NFL All Day. With NFL All Day, all your favorite Patriots highlights become digital video collectibles called Moments. Not only can you buy and sell them on a secure marketplace full of thousands of NFL fans, you can also use them to compete in epic game day challenges. Check it out and find some moments from all your favorite Patriots players on NFLAllDay.com. We'll be right back.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible.
No way. As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
There's no season better than football season. And there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week. So head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Some people are never content with simply being good. Not when they can be great. But it takes a big step to get there. In fact, it takes a leap of faith, a belief in what you're striving toward, and a willingness to make the commitment, day in and day out, to something bigger than yourself. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments. a world of investing.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need for the game. But what you really get is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
How did Verizon build the fastest 5G in the world? We started by building it right with 5G Ultra Wideband. Then we gave it massive capacity and near zero lag. And it's not just fast, it's 25 times faster than today's 4G networks. This is 5G built right from the network more people rely on. Only on Verizon. 5G Ultra Wideband available only in parts of select cities. Global claim based on open signal independent analysis. 25 times analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q2 2020.
Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Olympia Sports, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including 6 String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar. Watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible!
No way! As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance!
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
There's no season better than football season. And there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week. So head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
And now, great moments in history.
And quick movie trivia. What famous movie director produced a 1971 film with an up-and-coming movie director? But what? We don't know who that is. Anyway, the answer is Francis Ford Coppola. But
He did a TV show.
what famous movie director produced a 1971 film with an up-and-coming movie director? But, like, that could be anyone.
Who's the up-and-coming movie director?
He said Francis Ford Coppola.
No.
Oh, in that?
Right, well, yeah, it sounds like there's two different guys, right?
Yeah.
Two different
I don't know. Scorsese and Coppola?
Clarify.
Did they do? I don't know. The movie was American Graffiti, and George Lucas was the director. Oh, okay. I got to keep reading.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered. Evan came back from practice and gave us the lowdown there.
We got stuff, too.
Yeah. Look at this. It's throwback week.
Little preview here because we're on video.
Throwback week. You can go to the Patriots Pro Shop here in Foxborough and get all your throwback gear.
Yeah. Don't forget to bring a towel.
I still say, like, I know people love this logo, but I also know that when they were wearing it, nobody liked it. It was the worst logo in the NFL, or one of them. You know,
I think that's a little harsh. And I told you, my brother was at the game, I think in '79 against San Diego, where they had this logo and a new logo, which was kind of like Elvis. And they had the crowd choose the logo based on cheers.
Yeah.
And it was a blowout.
This one. One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Patriot.
Yeah.
What at Richfield? Was he going hard for
As
Pat
he said
Patriot?
to me, he goes, I kind of liked the new one, but everybody was yelling. I just kept my mouth shut. He didn't
Does it
want to
sound like a Perillo?
He doesn't want to get killed.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like Paul Perillo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it wears on you a little bit, but I just remember at the time, like,
Yeah, but
pay
now
no
it's-
mind.
But now it's
Like,
nostalgic.
Yeah,
and
now it's
kinda
nostalgic,
cool.
and nostalgia's big.
Yeah.
Like, you can go on those websites and buy, like, the old school sports T-shirts
Yeah.
and movie
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yep.
I like those.
I mean,
like that
now
stuff.
it's probably the best bad old logo. You know,
Best
like
bad
it might
old
have been
logo.
like it might have been one of the worst that time, but now it's like good bad.
Yeah.
So
I do
then-
like David Andrews posed with the red jersey in the same pose, like the hand the same way. That was
Like a
pretty-
center?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, well, you know, he's a center.
Well, he told a story yesterday in his press conference that he went to like a football camp when he was in high school, and Pete Brock was there and had a tattoo of Pat Patriot on his calf, and that was like
Yeah.
when David first.
I know that tattoo well.
His first exposure to the logo.
Yeah, I didn't know who Pete Brock was at the time, but he saw that cartoony thing, and he must have liked it, right?
Yeah. So this is the week.
That's the big question around Patriots Twitter right now is the logo at midfield. Is that
Will they do that?
Will they do that? The end zones.
Well, Fred, we probably are in the room with people who know this.
Well, that's why I brought it up, but I didn't know if we could share that information or not.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, Fred,
You know.
playing coy as usual.
Well, we'll see. Well, you know, the
There'll
thing
be
about
something
it is when you're on TV, you want your logo to be seen throughout the game. And so are you, you know, losing that opportunity if you replace it with the old logo, you know?
Right.
So
Right, brand synergy.
I don't think so.
I'm just putting a little doubt in people's minds.
Oh, I know what you're doing, but I don't think you would lose
playing the game.
Okay.
brand recognition
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So that's a no.
We'll see.
Yeah, like the Bengals had the white logo at midfield for the when they wore the all white.
Yeah, they did.
Well, just
looking at
everything
the,
else
That was to
is-
save paint, though.
By the way, am I the only one that didn't love those white uniforms? I know they got a lot of Twitter praise.
I liked them.
I think they were
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
I didn't like them.
No?
I love those Dolphins uniforms.
The all teal?
Yeah.
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 Well, anyway, it's going to be red, white pants, right? And the white
Yes.
helmet.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll
White face mask.
That's going to look cool.
White face mask. Someone said red face masks on
White-
Twitter. They're
white
white
face
face masks.
Oh, I thought you could choose. I thought as a player you got to choose what type of face
What
mask.
uniform you're going to wear?
No. What type of face mask you have.
You can
What
ta-
color?
Yep.
Not
No.
what color.
You have to have the same.
I remember
No, you don't.
at times some of the Patriots had red face masks.
Yes. The whole team.
Not the whole team.
In the early 90s, they had red face masks with
not-
those red uniforms.
Not the
They
whole
did.
team though.
Yes, Fred. I mean,
think
you can't have
yeah, it
some
ha-
guys wearing one uniform and some guys wearing another one.
It has to
just
be
the face
uniform.
mask. Just the
Yeah,
face
that-
mask.
Thus, Mike, couldn't agree with you more.
Just
Great
the,
point by you.
just the face mask.
Therefore,
They are
uniform.
white face masks. They're wearing them out of practice this week already. The helmets.
Yeah.
So they are white.
Nice.
How'd they look today?
They look fresh.
Fresh.
Well, except for some of the
Changed
players.
a
They're
little.
wearing red, right?
No, they're all wearing white.
Choose your own face mask adventure.
But
What
a
is
big
this?
a big conversation in face mask world
grousing?
has been Cole Strange's face mask because he wears the
Which
middle
I
bar.
still can't figure out why that is such a big deal.
Because most players nowadays don't. He's in the very large minority of not wearing the middle bar. It definitely throws you off a little bit in my mind.
What do you mean, large minority?
Small minority.
There you go.
What a show.
That was like pretty severe.
Yes.
Is it severe?
Well,
pretty severe.
I mean, I
severe.
can
Let's
see,
not-
like, to me, like, that middle bar, like, you're always
Nah.
looking either one side or the other,
Nah,
you know?
You're splitting your eyes in
forget
half,
it.
right?
No.
Right.
Did you guys ever play hockey? You get like a cage
Yeah.
in hockey with
Actually,
tons of
I never
bars. You
did.
just you focus, far away. It doesn't. You don't even realize it's there.
I can't do the middle bar.
Yeah, I know, but if you're a guard, you're not focusing far away. You're focusing on, like, 2 feet in front of you.
I think it's more a problem of just generally the face mask just completely closes everything in, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just like you can't
Your peripherals
see like you think you can. Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Good uniform talk.
Good.
855-PATS-500
Get
is
a
the Ace
sweatshirt.
Ticket hotline. Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. We got a lot of emails coming
Good.
in
Let's
at
read 'em.
webradio at patriots.com. Neil writes in. He's from New Brunswick. Kind of feels like this is a must win because I think if you're 1-4, the season is over. Adding to the stress, it seems like Zappe will be playing. What should we do on offense to maximize whatever skill set he has? Way more shotgun? Also, what about the reports that Bob Kraft wanted Zappe over Hoyer? Do you think it's true? And does this bother you?
Can I ask a question
What?
about
What
that?
report?
Yeah.
Can you follow up with that emailer and tell me where that report was? Because it's not the first person that I've heard that, and I haven't seen Robert Kraft saying.
Well, it was in the same report where Robert noticed that Bourne wasn't getting a lot of snaps. I'm being funny.
Okay, I know, but I am curious as to see if there was a report that
Yeah.
somewhere Robert Kraft was credited with wanting Bailey Zappe to play over Hoyer, because I find that extremely out of character
Me
for
too.
Robert Kraft.
Yeah, I
Me
don't
too.
know where that came from. Yeah.
But that seems like it's a story every time now. Like there's some kind of thing. Well, Robert Kraft wants Bourne to play more. He wants more play action in the playbook. They got to give it to him. I mean, he's the owner.
Yeah.
I don't know about this stuff.
I don't
Skeptical.
know. I don't know.
So as a question, how are we gonna get Bailey Zappe? Run the ball.
Yeah. I think that was the most impressive thing about the game on Sunday is that you have Bailey Zappe under center and you're still running it for 5 yards a carry. It didn't really seem to impact the running game at all. You would think that the defense sells out, 8 guys in the box, like let the quarterback beat
So,
you.
the fact that they've now signed Cannon to the 53, I mean, I assumed he was going to play anyway, but we're going to probably see a lot of that tackle eligible, all of that all day.
Yeah, both teams, actually. The Lions
Yeah.
run more 6-0 line tackle eligible than any team in the league. So they're number 1 in the league in that. And now the Patriots are probably going to be number 1 in the league after last week and this week.
Except for their entirety of their offensive lines on the injury report.
Yeah,
They only
we'll
have
see
4
about
left.
that. But yeah, we're talking about throwback uniforms. This is a throwback game, right?
Right.
These are two teams that want to run the football. The Lions are very heavy under center. They're a very heavy run team. Early down run frequency for both teams is very high up there in terms of, when they run the football on first and second down. So this is a throwback game in the throwback unis, which I like that symmetry.
Yeah.
But no Lions throwbacks.
All we
couldn't
need
get
is
some
mud.
Mud.
We're not going to get that.
No.
Brendan writes in. He says if Zappe ends up getting a few incredible performances, how do you think that will affect the QB depth?
Well, could he take the backup job from Brian Hoyer?
Yes.
Is that,
I mean,
that's
I
the
think
question?
that's the goal is
Yeah.
for him probably next year to just be the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
Right?
You
That
would
could be a
hope.
positive to come out of this.
That would be
out
great.
Of this little thing, but
Yeah.
when's Matt going to come back, and how much is Zappe going to get a chance to develop? I mean, I think he's getting a week this week to prepare and see what it's really like, and hopefully they'll kind of tailor some more things in the plan to him. But how does it go if he's got to go 3 weeks, 4 weeks when he really has to start to improve as other teams get a sense of him and what they're doing with him? And so I don't know. I mean, that'd be the interesting stuff to take from this if he has to start for a little while.
Slide right.
They
Well
need more,
done,
They
Fred.
need more curves.
I
on
want to
camera.
be off camera. That was the point. Also,
You are in charge. You can control that.
Also, give a shout out to BB. for not listening to all the haters. Even if we are losing right now, Judon and the other guys being such great characters on the team, and that's how I want to be represented. So how is he listening to haters if Judon is a great character? I don't know, Brendan.
That one.
Shout out for Belichick for trying to win games. I mean, how many head coaches out there would you think would be trying to win games?
I do enjoy
Shout
Michael
out.
Judon's personality, though. I mean,
I think Judon's having a great
Yeah.
season. So I mean, like, does he mean like he's a great character? So play him I don't understand.
I don't get it.
I think in some ways Judon's having a better start than he did last year, but he was new to the team last year, so it was new and exciting that this free agent is coming onto the scene and has a sack in every single game. But this year he's got a sack in every single game again, and it's not just the sacks. In overtime, he pressures Rodgers on third down. Early on in the game, he had another pressure, so he's having a great start.
He just looks quicker to me. Like, I don't know if he's in better shape or something, but he just seems to have a little bit more of a closing burst to me. There were a couple times against Rodgers where it was, like that extra little boost right as he's getting to the quarterback where he thinks maybe he can get it away, but I think he's looked really good.
Jonathan has actually his email says Jonathan, but his name is Rusty in Arlen. I guess that's his nickname. He wants to make heads or tails over this Mac being at practice thing. He says teams know just because he's at practice doesn't mean he has a chance to play. So what's the point? Is it just to create some pressure on Mac to play after he's been practicing for 3 weeks? That's the only explanation I can come up with.
Well, I think Mac wants to be out there.
Yeah, I think Mac wants to be out there.
Yeah.
I think the team is like, do what you want. And I think he wants to be out there.
I mean, what I was saying to Paul this morning is, like, I just hope this isn't like an overcorrection on the fact that he took some crap for how he left the field in that last game, and he feels like he has something to prove now by coming back early from this injury. But I just hope they're smart about it. I mean, isn't that what one of the Patriots players said when they had one of those reports? Like, I hope we're smart about this. And, at first I think people were thinking that, like, oh, the team is pushing him. They want him back ASAP. But I think it's changed. And I mean, me and Paul talked a lot about this. Just it seems like it's Mac kind of pushing
I think it was the surgery. I think the team wanted him to have surgery because they felt that would get him back the quickest. And I think that has changed because he is not having the surgery.
No socks here.
No socks.
They
gave him away at the pizza party upstairs, Matt. I think they have a bunch of them.
Did you guys go to the pizza party?
No, we had Matisse bring us. It was nice enough to bring a few down.
Anybody else?
No, just the talent. Just the talent.
Right, a typical move. I'm taking Perillo's as a protest.
He brought it for content, not KSB.
Won't be the first time. Won't be the last.
It's the Tom Brady. They're just, they're taking his weapons, his
So
sweatshirts.
Matt did send me a link to a blog post about the Robert Kraft Bailey Zappi thing, and evidently noted Patriots beat writer Bill Simmons is evidently the one. He says on his latest episode, latest podcast, he says he has heard from some of his quote Pat's birdies about what he thinks. One thing I heard, as you know, I have some Pat's birdies. Kraft loves Zappi, Simmons said. And Kraft thought he should have started this week over Hoyer. He's like all in on Zappi. So I don't know how Bill Simmons knows that. I know he is an enormous Boston sports fan. I don't know who he would be talking to that would tell him something that Robert Kraft was thinking. But that's where it came from. So I just want thanks for Matt for finding that for me.
If that's true, and I doubt it is, then I disagree with the owner. And I know on your show yesterday, Paul, they had a poll who should who should start, Hoyer or Zappi, and like over 70% wanted Zappi.
So
and I just don't get it. And this emailer,
there was a poll who should start, 75% Mac or Zappi, and it was still overwhelmingly Zappi.
Okay, so I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Both polls, like he was over 80% over Hoyer.
I mean, this emailer, this is Andy in Sioux City, says, I'm tired of hearing that we should play Hoyer if he can go. It's stupid. Can we all agree that this team is going nowhere?
No, I can't agree. So that's the part I can't agree with.
That's right. That's the premise, that it's the wrong premise. Like we are not making the playoffs, and if by some freaking miracle we do, it's not lasting long. With that said, there is zero reasons to play Hoyer. I don't care if Zappi can only run 10 plays. Get him out there and get him some rest. What about the rest of the team? Don't we want to see what everyone else can do too?
If you were 4-9
I mean, so you're
and
just gonna run the
really,
ball and just forget about the wide receivers?
if you were 4-9 and really playing for nothing, then I could say like get the rookie some reps. Let's see if he can be the number 2 guy next year. We won't need to spend say $1 million or $2 million on a backup quarterback. We can get a rookie 4th round contract in year 2 as my backup. Yeah, that makes sense. Right now, I'm unwilling to accept the premise that the season is over.
He says, hasn't Fred been saying you only get better by playing? Yeah, that goes for all players, not just Bailey Zappi. It goes for Cole Strange. It goes for Aguilar. It goes for, all these guys need to play more. And if you limit the playbook to just running plays, you're not helping anybody.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Hoyer knows the offense better. He could run more plays. Maybe 10 years from now, Zappi's still in the league and he turns out to be a better quarterback than Hoyer. Maybe. But right now, I don't think the Patriots are out of it, and I want to give them the best chance to win. And right now, I think it's a healthy Hoyer. Now, he's out. He's not going to play.
No.
So
Yeah,
it's going to be
that's
Zappi.
There's
So
no
it's a
debate.
moot point.
Right.
But I don't understand this thing that, let's see Zappi.
The obsession over Bailey Zappi is. I was already triggered to buy it yesterday, and it's still get out of control.
I mean, do you think it's all that different though than like Jarrett Stidham like a couple years
No,
ago? It's just
no.
anytime you have
Right.
a backup
It's the same
quarterback that you
thing.
don't quite know, and that whole year you had, they really like Stidham, like they're gonna go with Stidham, then they signed Cam Newton. I just think all this, like, you're going to get your wish. You're going to get to see Bailey Zappi this weekend against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And then let's regroup after that, see how he does with a week to prepare. So this is, it's favorable conditions now for him as much as they can be for, a 4th round pick that just got, out of college. So we'll see. We'll see how he does. And if he does really well, then, maybe those people are right. But I think it's a pointless debate right now because it's going to happen. He's going to play this weekend. I'm convinced that he's the starter.
The decision was made for everyone this week. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the controversy.
I don't understand any of this with Bailey Zappi, and I posed this question to Alex yesterday on Patriots Catch 22. There we go.
Wednesdays 2 to 3.
Wednesdays 2 to 3.
Yep.
And because Alex is, not to throw him under the bus, but he's a Zappi guy, right? He liked Zappi in college and was happy that they drafted him. So I said, what is it? Because I don't see it. Like, what is it that people saw out of that game on Sunday that have them convinced that Bailey Zappi is now going to be the guy, or is now some great quarterback, or whatever you want to call it? And he said that he didn't throw any interceptions. I was like, so that's the bottom line, is that if you only drop back to pass 18 times, 6 of them are off play action, and all the other ones are some sort of managed drop back where you really only have one read going on the field, and you don't throw it to the other team, now all of a sudden you are a franchise quarterback. Like, that's our baseline now for it, because that's ridiculous.
How bad would you have to be to throw an interception in those conditions?
Right.
If you're throwing an interception
let's
on
take
those,
out
like,
the fact that,
it's a good point.
that he froze in the pocket twice and took 2 sacks in the game, that he missed an open Hunter Henry on 3rd down in overtime because he panicked in the pocket again. But let's take all of that out because he didn't throw the ball to the other team. He's the answer.
It's a low bar. Yeah.
Evan doesn't like.
I mean, Hoyer didn't throw an interception that game either.
It's
for the
not that
limited
bad.
time that he
Like,
was
Zappi.
My
He
real
has his
question
role.
would be, what did Hoyer do in that game? Forget about what you think of Hoyer.
Right.
What did Hoyer do in that game that you said, can't play him again?
Right.
Because yesterday I think you were kind of making the
He
point
was
that,
actually
like, he
doing
did more
okay.
in those 2 drives than
Yeah.
Zappi kind of did.
I mean, he threw 6 passes. The other guy threw 15. He played the whole game. He played 4 quarters worth of football, and he threw 15 passes. Hoyer threw 6. Does that tell you a little bit about what the coaches thought?
Right. I don't know. Like, do you want to win? I mean, or you just want to see this new guy play?
Right. And if you think that, like the emailer said, that the season is over,
yeah,
then that's different. That's fine. I don't think like that at 1-3. I think there's far too much football to be
but
played.
even if you think the season's over, I want to see the offense run at its full capacity, meaning the full playbook, Yeah. And with Zappi, you really can't do that.
Yeah, if I thought the season was really over, I would never advocate Hoyer over Zappi.
Okay.
Because I think you're better served long term to get another quarterback as much. I mean, you have an opportunity now, as unfortunate as it is, to not have your starting quarterback available. So I don't need a 30-something-year-old veteran backup to play. That's not helping my offense.
I don't know. I don't run my team just for one guy.
I'm not running it for one guy. I'm running it for the team. It's better for the team
Right,
to
so-
have a young guy get reps if you're truly out of it.
Well-
not at 1-3.
Yeah.
We're not even close to that. I mean, you lose the next 2 games and you're 1-6, you're 1-5 rather. That could be a different story. But that's not for one guy. That's not just for Bailey Zappi. That helps the team. Do I need a backup quarterback next year that I have to pay for, or can I save some money on that slot and have this guy who's going to be every bit as effective as a backup? Or maybe he can't play, and maybe we find that out now.
It's just interesting because I think the goal when they drafted Mac, and now that they're crafting this offense around Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi ran an air raid system at Western Kentucky, but there are some similarities to where they're going, and I feel like the system fit, the new system fit, whatever you want to call it, as Mac as the starter and Bailey as the backup makes a lot of sense. Like, they're very stylistically similar quarterbacks. So what I found interesting on Sunday was that they ran a bunch of under center stuff with Bailey Zappi. At Western Kentucky, I think you can count on one hand the amount of times he was under center. Like, it's a spread air raid offense where even kneel downs, they took kneel downs in the gun. He didn't even go under center for kneel downs. So that's the type of offense they ran, the Hilltoppers, by the way. And they come out on Sunday and he's under center a bunch. And I asked him about it yesterday and he said, I feel a lot more comfortable with it than I did a year ago playing under center. So he's been working on it hard. After practice, he said.
But why do you think they did that?
Well, I think that the opportunities off play action were just making it so easy for him to complete passes down the field that it was the right thing to do. I mean, you don't get a wide open Devontae Parker for a touchdown 25 yards out without some play action and some misdirection.
This guy, selling him short. He runs play action better than Mac. Ben Volen
really gets that.
They need to get Mac up to speed on these play actions. Like, has nothing to do with the fact that you ran the ball 38 plays in a row and had him under center and ran a couple of play actions.
Really sells that fake.
Zach and Brighton, in your opinion, do you think there is a better approach to Thornton's return, assuming he is close to fully healthy? Either A, start him as soon as he's available, but with Zappi at quarterback, or B, give him some extra time over these 21 days and see if you could time it out with Mac returning.
Well, let's throw the Thornton question at Evan. I'm curious what.
Yeah, my short answer to that is the identity of the quarterback shouldn't impact Thornton's return. It should be his health only.
The question we discussed earlier was Thornton comes back. How do you divide up the snaps? Like, who do you eat into, or do you even? I mean,
does something have to be done? I mean,
do I want them to eat into, or who will they eat into?
No, what do you think will happen?
Choose both.
I'll answer both. I think the first one, who I want to see them eat into the snaps, is Devontae Parker, because
we're all in agreement.
Taekwon should be playing the X, right? And you have him at the X and Aguilar at the Z on first down, and now all of a sudden you got some speed on the field. And in their under center stuff and the things that they do out of that personnel grouping, the X is really the one that's taking the top off the defense, and the Z is the guy that's going to see all the targets. So the ball's not necessarily going to go to Taekwon Thornton unless the safety jumps Nelson underneath or it's a busted coverage or something like that. So it's not like he's going to go in and play this high volume role, which I think is probably for the best, at least until that collarbone is 110% instead of just 100. So I would like to see him get in there with some of those snaps for Devontae Parker, because really, other than that, I mean, you're not going to have him play in little Jordan Humphrey's spot, because you're not going to have him block like that, like little Jordan Humphrey's blocking. And I don't really know where else he fits in.
Yeah.
So it's really just kind of, that's your only option. But
what are they going to do?
I got the need for speed. I mean, I got to see Taekwon.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy in training camp that clearly showed that he can do something on the football field with that 4.28, and they desperately need it. I mean, him and Aguilar together is as fast as they've been on the outside in quite some time, probably like Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I remember you saying that during camp.
Yeah, and what I like to see from him during the summer was he got off the line quick. He wasn't just fast.
Oh, yeah.
He was able to get free quickly off the line, which I wondered about, because can he get jammed up, and will that, stunt his ability to get downfield? But no, he was able to elude the guy even when it was in press. He was able to get around him really quickly.
Yeah, it was similar to what I kind of said. I mean, I was saying put him on between the 20s, to stretch the field. And I like the Parker contested catch of it all, but I don't know how effective that is up and down the field. Put him in the red zone and chuck him
Yeah,
one
I
up.
mean,
do what he
I
does
think
best.
Parker's the guy too. I'm looking at the amount of playing time that Parker
know.
gets, and I think it's unrealistic. Like I think they love him.
That's where I'm at with it too. Is that's the guy that is the obvious way to get him off the field, but I don't know if they'll take Parker off the field based off of what they've done. But I think at the same time, you got the vertical element, and you also have Tyquan potentially horizontally stretching the defense as well. Like I don't think it'd be a great idea to give a 175-pound receiver jet sweeps and things like that, but even the threat of him coming in motion or something like that before the snap can get the defense to do some different things that can open up some holes for other guys. So those are the types of things that I think it's too. The speed translated too well in training camp and in the preseason to not use it in some capacity, even if he's only out there for 15, 20 snaps a game.
And I wondered if they might do something with Bourne. Maybe move him before the deadline for something they feel. Because I don't know if there's enough snaps. I mean, they already can't seem to get Bourne any significant playing time. As you said, they love Humphrey in this role. I mean, obviously they wouldn't put, as you said, they wouldn't put Thornton in that role, but could you eliminate Humphrey from the equation and just not have – I mean, I don't think a lot of teams, have wide receivers that they think we got to have him, out there 35, 40, 45 plays a game because we need to run the ball. Like wide receiver, I don't think that's a necessity to your running game. I wonder how they find a way to get him not only onto the roster but involved in the offense.
Tim writes in, I was also at the game in 79 when a halftime the crowd determined the logo going forward. I believe it was a Monday night game, and what I remember most was yelling at people not to boo the new logo since it was a decibel meter making the call. I agree, a lot of people didn't like the Patriots logo, the old one, but I always loved it and can't wait to wear the old logo Sunday and see it on the field. Have a great day, and by the way, Evan has been a great addition to the team. I find him very knowledgeable, and he has a great way about him.
Oh,
so there you go.
Wow. Sounds like a love connection.
So you can unblock him on Twitter.
Can make me blush.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were yelling, "We want the old one" at that game. By the way, it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday game. It was a regular Sunday game.
Okay.
I do remember it.
Okay.
And someone actually had sent me. This was a while back now. Someone had sent me like an old newspaper clip from it. The team, like, it was all a Billy Sullivan production. Like, they came up with it in marketing. Like, it was a whole campaign. And they put a release out with it. This is what they're going to do. This is how it's going to get voted on. And the email is right. Negative comments for one or the other were just going to get attached to like, they couldn't decipher whether or not you were saying, we want this or we hate this. If there was noise, that was going to get a vote for the,
Right.
And people would literally yell. It was like Reagan Mondale.
Yeah.
Like, it was a complete blowout.
It was a blowout.
This is the problem with 1979. See, nowadays we can just do a Twitter poll, and there's
Right.
there's no decibel levels that we need to worry about.
But I remember that. Didn't that old logo have like the flag was like tails?
It was a little. Yeah,
it was an awful logo. That was worse.
It was worse.
Yeah, the old one was better than the new one, but it was a little Elvis-like, but it had the flag waving at the end. It was kind of more square.
Okay.
It was kind of funny looking. I agree that the Pat Patriot was better.
Andrew in L.A., the poll on 98.5 should have been A, Mac at 75%, B, Zappy, C, a healthy Hoyer, or D, not having fun going 12-4 every year. That's what Deuce
I
would
appreciate
pick.
that. Thank you.
That was just for Deuce.
Oh, it's a burden. We lived through it, We did
I don't know
our
how
best.
we made it.
Do you think
He was so
will the
depressed all the
AFC
time.
championship be here or in Indy?
And you were so depressed. It amazes me how that depressed you.
Joel writes in,
challenge.
if Zappy comports himself well against the Lions and finds a way to win, is there any financial benefit to cutting Hoyer and going with Zappy as QB2?
It's actually a detriment to their salary cap cutting.
It would be
There's dead money?
one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got guaranteed money.
Everybody hates Brian Hoyer.
That's why
they just want him to be a coach or just get out of the way.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't do the, check with us later thing with Brian Hoyer on cutdown days because they guaranteed him money this year.
Let's see, Brent in Indiana. One of those tight ends that isn't top of the line talent but is producing reasonably well is the Jets tight end. He also has had Flacco and Wilson throwing to him. So what I was saying earlier, you
No
weren't
name.
here.
Don't know that.
I just wish we could get some production out of our tight end position. And now I know Smith is hurt now, but like I watch other NFL games, and it just seems like even average tight ends are getting like 1 or 2 plays a game where they're like 20 yards downfield and wide open. And I think it's because
I would argue the Jets have good wide receivers.
Yeah,
I would make that argument.
None of our outside guys right now are commanding double teams, and it's allowing teams to kind of crowd the middle, and our tight ends just aren't – we don't have those opportunities. Now, it could come down to quarterback play too, but I just wish we could get those, 1 or 2 plays out of our tight ends per game that other teams seem to be getting, even with average tight ends.
I think with Jonnu, he's a schemed tight end, right? Like, you got to use him properly. He's not a route runner.
To me, that's what's the point there if you have to really scheme it up to get to him?
Well, I think that was a big reason why we saw so much of the bootleg stuff in the outside zone stuff in training camp. Was the idea was to eventually use Jonnu on those slide routes where they just kind of bring the guy across the formation and dump it to him in the flat, and that was supposed to be his role in that system, which is why it made sense for him. I also would say, in Tennessee, he was a pretty good seam runner, which we don't see a lot of here.
And that I would say is what I would say is quarterback related.
Yeah, that could be.
He does not throw that pass
Mac
well.
has trouble in the seam seeing the defense.
Yeah, he's more of like a slot fade quarterback to drop it in the bucket instead of really throwing
But to Evan's
that dart.
point, I saw a ton, especially in the spring, but even in training camp, of those zone runs where, it's hard play action. You give it one of these, you pull it out in that little half boot, and then you get the deep over going to the opposite sideline, and that was Jonnu Smith a lot.
Yeah.
But you need an arm for that.
Well, you need to be able to run the ball so you can sell it.
Well, yeah, but you also need a good arm to get it across.
If anybody can see that,
that's awful.
That's the logo.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's an awful
It looks like
logo.
somebody threw that together. Like you have to come up with a logo in 10 minutes, and they're like,
no wonder the old one won.
It's Elvis.
It is Elvis.
Well, no,
it's the
but
same.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it
they have them
definitely
right
seems like
there.
they used it as the jumping off point for the Elvis.
Exactly.
It absolutely is Elvis without the waving of the
You could
flag.
make it in 5 steps. It's like back to bacon.
I mean, I'm sorry, you can't tell me you hate this and love that.
Well, come on, they're not even close.
Well,
That's not close.
The quality of the Elvis is so much
right.
better,
Yeah,
so it's
but
hard.
all it is cleaned up.
It's the same concept.
The Elvis itself, it's the same face. Like, how can you say that that's not close?
It's not.
Can you see? Can you?
I think it's.
If this were at all legible,
the concept is the same. The concept is the same, but the Elvis is much better. Come on.
Come on, Paul.
I mean, you know what I feel about the Elvis.
I know.
I hate the Elvis.
But compared to that one on top, it's better.
Oh, I don't like the one on top. I didn't like the new one at the time either. But I think Mike is right. I think we modernized it.
Well, listen,
That's all we did.
The problem is our mascot is a human.
Yeah.
It
is tough.
Yeah. Unless it's like a pirate or something like that.
It's a historical human, too.
Yeah.
It's not even like a current human. I mean, I guess it technically could be a current human, but, it's not.
And I get like those guys in tricorn hats were probably tough mothers. They survived
the Green Mountain Boys.
They survived Gettysburg and all that stuff. Like I can't do that, but like
now we have
still
Patriots.
the outfit didn't
conquered.
It doesn't conjure up
Lexington
like
conquered Gettysburg.
Yeah,
leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Germans, leave them alone.
Like it doesn't conjure up like fear. The tricorn hat.
Yeah,
in the cloak.
But if people talk crap about it, you're like, well, then you're not American.
Right.
Come on. I mean,
right.
We're holding the high ground on patriotism.
But I'm just saying.
Patriots.
Russell in Arkansas, he hears that the reason why Tom and Giselle are getting a divorce is because I kissed Tom.
That could be.
Yeah, it could be.
That could have gotten back to him.
Who else has he kissed?
Yeah. Let's see. What else have we got?
Eldred.
It's almost time for picks. But
oh, that's right.
You gotta take Eldred.
Let me take Eldred off the phone line, and then we'll do picks. Eldred, what's up?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Hey, Eldred. See y'all on video.
Hi.
How you doing, Evan?
So
nice to meet you.
Where are you watching us? On YouTube, or where are you watching us?
No, on the app.
On the app.
Patriots
Okay.
app, yeah.
Okay.
On the app.
All right.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Hey, I know y'all keep talking about the tight end play. I keep wondering too. But I'm not bashing the OT yet, but I've been bashing all year season. But don't you think it might be on the play caller to get those tight ends at least in rhythm or some kind of plays, especially if you ever get close to the goal line or the seam route.
Tell you, Matt Patricia's doghouse must be the size of Gillette Stadium.
Which is just silly.
Almost, Paul.
I don't know. Did you hear what Dan Campbell had to say about him?
Well, Evan, you probably know the answer to that. What's compared to last year through 4 games, how are we doing in plays in the red zone?
In terms of percentage,
Yeah.
not well.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that you're seeing, well, I mean, not to like completely pick on the execution again, but Hunter Henry early on in the game, Brian Hoyer throws one over his head, open on 3rd down, overtime play I keep bringing up, open over the middle. So there was opportunities to get Hunter Henry that ball against
What about
Green Bay.
trips to the red zone compared to last year?
They're driving the football well. They're always, even like in the Cam Newton
this year.
Yeah, they're yards per
They
drive.
go
They're
to
up
the
there.
red zone like twice a game.
Yards per drive, they're up there. I mean, like above league average. Which
Yeah, but I'm
is-
talking. He's
but
talking
how many
about trips to the red
how
zone.
many times have they
They got to the red zone twice on Sunday
compared to last year through 4 games?
That number I don't know exactly. I know they're down there in red zone scoring efficiency, and they're usually an above average yards per drive team. But maybe those drives are now stalling
red
out
zone
in the
opportunities.
30s.
They're really in trouble this week because Detroit leads the league in yards per play, and we all know that's the indication of a good team. Mike Lombardi taught me that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, but I think in the red zone, you do see a lot of teams, I think, know that Hunter Henry is the guy down
I
there.
just don't think they've had as many opportunities.
They haven't been in the. I mean, Baltimore game they got to the red zone. I think they were like 3 for 5 in the Baltimore game, something like that. They got to the red zone a lot against Baltimore. They did not get to the red zone a lot against Miami, Pittsburgh, or Green Bay.
Right, but when you
Green
score-
Bay, obviously understandable given Bailey's out.
But when you score from the 25 with a touchdown to Devontae
Okay.
Parker,
that's once.
But that's a third time.
I
right?
know,
I mean,
but that's fair enough. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, like, how many opportunities has Hunter Henry had in the red
yeah,
zone?
I just think
'Cause
why does he
was
only have to have opportunities in the red zone? That's the part I don't get.
But he was very effective there last year.
But he was very effective in the entirety of the field. He had 50 catches. Only 9 of them were touchdowns.
So right now in yards per drive, the Patriots are 18th in the league. So right around league average in offensive yards per drive. So they're not a bad team in terms of actually moving the ball between
But
the
that's
20s.
not the question.
No, I know what the question
not
is.
the question.
That one is the next level one that I'm going to have to do. some
I mean,
more
this is
digging
getting to like Bill, like opening day. We crossed midfield 5 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. How many times have they been in the red zone?
I'll look it up for you.
Red zone opportunities. What else, Eldred?
My question is, I hate if they do this, get rid of Bourne, but okay, let's say they trade him. What about the money you guaranteed him, or whatever? Is that dead money, or do?
Well, if you trade him,
next
the
team take
salary
contract?
goes to the team that trades for him.
Yep.
That'll go to the team that trades for him.
Yep.
The base
That's
salary.
That's different than cutting him. When you cut him,
You have to absorb.
You have to absorb everything.
You
Yeah.
absorb it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's a client waste just to waste that guy because of something that happened during the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just that.
That's too much.
I don't either.
All right.
Thank y'all. Have a
Thanks,
good one.
Eldred.
See
All
you,
right.
Biggie.
It's that time of the week. Paul, what happened last week?
All right. What is it? Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Oh, that's mean.
Mike.
Oh.
13-3.
Whoa. Wow.
Followed by Evan and Paul at 12-4, and Alex and Fred at 11-5. So you can see it was a rather easy week.
Good week.
With the spread, Mike and Paul at 10-5-1, followed by Evan at 9-6-1, Fred at 8-7-1. Congrats, Fred, one game
Winning.
over 500, and Alex 6-9-1. So these are the standings as follows. Overall, Paul continues to dominate. 39-24-1.
So
Mike 33-30-1, and Fred 32-30-1. So they're the only ones that have all 4 weeks. Evan 12-4, obviously. Alex 30-18. I think she's done 3 weeks.
That's good.
And Tamara 7-8-1. So with the spread for the season, it is Paul 37-26-1, followed by Mike at 30-33-1, Fred at 24-39-1. Alex is 22-25-1, and then Evan and Tamara have only done 1 week each.
I got a
This is
deep
big
hole
week.
I got to
It's a
climb
big
out
week
of.
for me on the,
So
on the
it's
spread.
getting very confusing on my sheet now. I have partial weeks. I have people coming and going. I have people emailing picks after
Dogs
the
and
fact.
cats
We'll
living
have to start
together.
doing
It's mass
win
hysteria.
win percentage instead of the actual number. All right, tonight, Thursday night, 8:15. The Colts are, of course, in Denver playing the Broncos. 1-2-1 Colts against the 2-2 Broncos.
Yeah, no Jonathan Taylor, right? So that's
Correct.
That's a big one. They're outdoors in Denver. It's the battle of the Peyton Mannings. You know what? I'm gonna go with Indy for the upset in Denver.
I'm taking Denver. Matt Ryan leads the league in fumbles right now by quarterbacks. He has 9 fumbles through 4 games.
9. And that's with Trevor Lawrence having 4 last game alone.
Wow.
So Denver both ways?
Both ways.
I will take Denver to win the game. I will take the hook, however, in Indy to keep it close.
It's 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
I'm going to go with the Broncos both ways. Sunday, this is in the morning at 9:30 Eastern Time at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The 3-1 Giants are being hosted by the 3-1 Packers.
Packers by 8.5. You know, this is the first time that teams with winning records played each other in London.
Is that right? Wow.
Good for London.
That's
Good
bad.
for good for London.
Good for the Londoners.
Good for the Brits.
I'm gonna take Green Bay to win, but I'm gonna take those points. I think it'll be a little close. I don't think Green Bay's ready to roll just yet.
I'm doing the same thing. Exact same reason.
Yeah, I'm only taking Green Bay both ways because I think their Giants are going to be down to, like, I don't know, Davis Webb or someone. Who's playing quarterback for the Giants? Yeah, if Daniel Jones was healthy, I would take the points, but I won't.
Yeah,
I don't think he's healthy even if he plays.
I'm going
so
to take the
whatever.
Pack both ways.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah. I think Bill calls Aaron Rodgers during the week and tells him how to
Hey.
beat Brian Dable.
What are you doing? I just call and say.
Do we
hey.
not like Brian Dable now?
Well, you know, Aaron's his new buddy.
It's Aaron from State Farm.
Yeah.
3 in the morning.
Hey, boo.
Oh,
You up?
This is how you beat. This is how you beat Brian.
I mean, he's just so good.
I was just thinking about that passing through against us.
He played like he was in a coma for 30+ minutes, but he's just so good.
Sunday at 1, the 1-3 Steelers are at the 3-1 Bills.
Bills by 14.
14.
That's a lot of points.
The Kenny 2 gloves. I actually think he's going to be okay for them. I mean, he's got to be better than Trubisky, right? But I don't think it's going to matter. I think Buffalo's going to get back on track. They got a lot of injuries, though. You know what? I'm going to take Buffalo to win, but I'm just going to take the points for fun.
I'm going to do the same
Maybe
thing
it's
just
close.
because whenever it's 14, a spread like that is a lot, even for the Bills.
I agree it's a lot. I'm going to lay the points, however. I just think Buffalo, that was a big win for them last week. I think that they build off of that. This would be a good time for me to say how wrong I was about Pittsburgh just sort of continuing without Roethlisberger. I missed that one.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be better. I thought they would get better quarterback play than they did last year. It's basically been the same. Terrible.
You know what's interesting? The Steelers and the Patriots are both
I was wrong.
1-3. But I think if you ask the average Patriot fan, they would say, "Oh, we're in a much better position than the Steelers." But are we? You know, like.
Well,
I mean, we both have quarterback problems right now.
Yeah, and they lost their best player, I mean, by far, in T.J. Watt.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, I don't think they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
I don't think they're in a very
I
good
do
spot.
think that the Steelers' season is closer to being over than the Patriots,
Yeah.
for sure.
I would concur.
But I think
Yeah.
there's a little zappy thing going on where you're about to put your rookie quarterback in, and you have that like optimism of like, I don't know, maybe he's going to be amazing. You know,
This guy.
That's what people do.
One day I'm going to see him have a bad day.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Bills both ways. They will cover. Sunday at 1, the 2-2 Chargers are at the 2-2 Cleveland Browns.
Chargers by 2.5.
Herbert, a lot of injuries continue for the Chargers. I'm going to go with Cleveland as home dogs. I think they'll hold serve.
Do we know if Myles Garrett's playing in this game or not?
I
'Cause
think he
I-
practiced
car
yesterday.
accident.
He did practice yesterday.
I'll go with Herbert. I'll go with the better quarterback.
This is a tough one.
Take the Chargers. I'll take them.
Yeah, I
with the
do worry
points, too.
about Mike's right about the injuries for the Chargers, but I just can't bet on Jacoby Brissett. I'll take the Chargers.
Yeah, I will too. Sunday at 1, The 0-3-1 Texans visit the 2-2 Jaguars.
The only winless team in football. Jacksonville by 7.
Yeah, I'm going to take Jacksonville. I think they're working with an actual football team this year. I will lay the points as well.
I'll take Jacksonville, and I'll take the points as well.
You'll take the points.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to do.
Oh, you laid them.
I laid them.
I like Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same as Ev. I'm going to take the points. I'll take Jacksonville to win, but Houston to hang around and keep it reasonably close.
Does it make me a bad Patriots fan if I'm
Probably.
rooting for Trevor Lawrence?
No, why?
I think, well, he's the AFC. You
Don't
know.
fall into this like
it's a question.
psycho. But
It's a question.
But it's a psychosis
Yeah, no
that only
chance, Adam.
Patriots fans
I know.
would
If it
be
was a
concerned about.
guy
Like
that
if
you
your
coulda
guy,
had-
if your guy is good, why do you care
Right.
about anybody else?
I'm rooting for Trevor Lawrence. I want
but
him
like
to do well.
But somehow your guy can't just be good. He has to
I
be
know.
better than all the other guys that were drafted.
I know.
Like if your guy's good and you win a Super Bowl with him, what do you care?
I know. But I want Trevor Lawrence to do well. I feel bad for him. I think he's really good.
Well, I'll tell you, the guy I feel bad for now is Fields.
Yeah.
Because I watched some clips that Dan Orlovsky put together of that game. That was criminal. Just taking a shotgun snap, catching the snap, looking up, and having 3 guys within 2 yards of him.
Well, I'm going to go with Jacksonville both ways. And speaking of the Bears, they're at 2-2, and they're heading to Minnesota to take on the 3-1 Vikings.
Vikings by 7.
How they got 2 wins? I'm going to take the Vikings at home, not on prime time. I think they'll beat up on Chicago. I'll lay the points.
I agree with that as well. Kirk Cousins at 1 o'clock when nobody's watching. That's his prime time right there.
I'll take the Vikings. Like I said, that Chicago team I think is the worst in football.
Yeah, I will as well. Sunday at 1, the 2-2 Seahawks are at the 1-3 Saints.
Saints by 5.5 over the Fighting Geno Smiths.
Yeah, the Fighting Geno Smiths.
Do
Pretty
the Saints
crazy.
get more respect than they should?
Yes.
I know some people thought they were like a
Peter King.
dark horse Super Bowl team.
Right.
Yeah,
It's tough when you lose your quarterback, though. I don't know.
I'm gonna take New Orleans to win, but I'm gonna take those points for Seattle.
I'm taking Geno. Straight up.
It's tempting.
Yeah, I will take New Orleans both ways.
I'm going to take the points.
But you taking New Orleans to win?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll take the points.
Yep, I got it.
That game last week by Geno against the Lions.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Let Geno cook.
Geno cook. Better than Russell Wilson.
Papa Geno. Sunday at 1, the 3-1 Dolphins are at the 2-2 Jets.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Miami by 3.
Miami by 3 with Teddy 2 gloves. The Jets are playing a little bit better, but I'm gonna go with Miami even with Teddy 2 gloves. I will lay those points.
I'm taking Miami. I'm taking them to cover. When you have Tyreek Hill on your team, a lot of people can play quarterback.
Be interested to see how they use Sauce Gardner in that game against those dynamic receivers. But I'm with the panel here. I'll take Miami both ways.
They'll play zone.
Folks, this is your upset lock of the week.
Oh, I hope you're right. That would be
The Jets
awesome.
win this game outright.
That would be
Well,
awesome.
They're underdogs, so if they
Right,
win,
so
it'll be outright.
If they win outright, yes, that's how you say it. That was gambling
Oh,
parlance
is that right?
you don't understand.
Good job.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Fred.
What does the Fred know?
Yeah. All right.
What do the
Yeah, so
Sharps
I'm
know?
not fading the Jets this week.
No.
Yeah.
How could you?
Yeah. Sunday at 1, the 2-2 Falcons are at the 2-2 Buccaneers. But what is the mindset of the quarterback?
He's also hurt. Shoulder and finger injuries.
Finger, yeah.
Bucks by 9, 9.
I guess the Sharps don't think it'll affect them that much.
Fuck, Marcus Mariota.
What did you just say?
Marcus Mariota.
Before that.
I don't know.
I want you to replay that one again. I need that one.
What?
I want that one over the
What did I
weekend.
say?
I think he just did it again.
An
You know what I heard, right?
An
Yep.
F?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You don't even know you're doing it with that smile on your face. That howdy doody
Go to the
smile.
video. Go to the video. I'll take Tampa. I'll take Tampa, and I'll lay the points.
I'm assuming the spread is what it is because the Bucks own the Falcons in the Brady era. That's one of those divisional things. And I like the Bucks. No Cordell Patterson anymore for Atlanta is a big one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks both ways too. I think they bounce back. I thought the offense actually looked reasonably good last week.
Yeah.
Some of it was window dressing at the end, but I thought in the first half they kind of caught their gear with Evans and Godwin.
They'll
be back.
I'm with Team Tom.
I know that.
I texted him. I said, if you need a place to crash while you're going through this,
how'd you get my
If
number?
you need a kiss or a shoulder to cry on.
You want to sleep on my couch for a couple months,
Stop
while
texting
you get settled.
Extra bedroom.
Go ahead. So Bucks both ways. A lot of Sunday at 1 games. Titans at 2-2 are in Washington 1-3.
Is anybody going to watch this game?
Titans by 2.5.
Blech. Yeah, I don't like it. I just can't go with Carson Wentz. I'm going to take Tennessee, and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, I have enough faith in Vrabel against a guy like Carson Wentz that you take Tennessee. I don't like it, though.
Yeah, I don't think the Titans are great, but I will take them to win this game.
Me too, Titans. All right, now we skip over the Patriots at 1 o'clock, and we move to 4:05. The 2-2 49ers, led by Jimmy Garoppolo, are at the Panthers 1-3.
San Francisco by 6.5.
6.5.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
Wow, that went up. I'm going to take San Francisco, and I will lay the points.
I think the worst, you mentioned Chicago. They might have a worse. Carolina's offense is one of the worst offenses in the NFL right now, hands down.
That's another one Orlovsky spends hours ridiculing.
Just no
on
rhyme,
Mondays.
no rhyme or
Tearing
reason
them
to what
apart.
they're doing. Just what people thought the Matt Patricia era was going to be like here. So I'll take San Francisco, and I'll take them to cover.
Yeah, I will take the Niners as well. I think that defense is legit. I mean, they just attack.
Who's that? The guy that kept on comparing to Troy Polamalu in the broadcast the other day. I'm blanking on his name, but guy can play.
Yeah.
Does he have long hair?
Yes.
No. Troy Polamalu.
I didn't watch the game, so I don't know.
I know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
I took the Niners.
I did too.
Neuner.
I will too. Is Matt Rule going to last the season? No? Is this
Probably
David Tepper guy like a short fuse guy? Will he fire him? Or?
No, but I think he's
he hasn't fired him yet,
Yeah.
which I think is impressive, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a new owner not getting any results.
Yeah.
I think Evan's right. You would expect those guys to be impulsive.
Yeah. 4:25. The 4-0 Eagles, the only undefeated team, are at the Cardinals 2-2.
Eagles by 5.5.
5.5, huh? I'm going to take Philadelphia to win. I'm going to take the points for Arizona at home. I think it'll be a close one.
I'll do the same thing, but that Cardinals team is grossly underperforming right now, and I don't really like trusting them at all, even to cover. But I'll do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I think 5.5 is too many for a home dog with talent.
I will take the points as well. I'll take the hook. Is that right, Paul?
No, not really.
No?
But I know what you meant.
Okay. 4:25, 3-1 Cowboys. Big surprise against the 2-2 Rams.
Rams by 5.5.
That's an interesting one.
Rams are
I
not
know,
in a
it's
good way.
just-
Infighting.
Stafford.
He made a
couple of
mistake signing Matthew
defensive.
Stafford won his ring, and now it's
Couple
over.
of defensive players getting in a fight
Yeah.
the other night.
Yeah.
Some turmoil
Tension
on the
spilling
sideline.
over.
Stafford not playing well. He could have had several picks in that game that were dropped by the Niners.
Bobby Wagner in legal trouble for laying out the streaker. A lot of complications. I'm gonna take the Rams to win, but I'm gonna take the points for Dallas. I think it's a close, good game.
I'm going to do the same thing. The Rams are in a bad way right now, though. Their offense is nobody but Cooper Kupp. And even Aaron Donald is not quite as dominant as Aaron Donald usually is. And he's been talking about retirement the last couple off seasons. You wonder if maybe he's got his ring as well and slowing down.
Yep.
Well, and he's been thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I am going to take the Rams to bounce back, and I think this may be one of those market correction games for Cooper Rush. At some point, I give him all the credit in the world.
He looks good. He's got some poise.
They're not playing games like they're playing with a backup quarterback. They're playing
Yeah.
normal football, and they're playing well. Their defense has been outstanding. But I think that the Rams might break out.
I'm with you, Paul. This Cooper Rush thing has to end. It's an abomination. Rams both ways. Sunday night on NBC.
Ooh, good one.
The 2-2 Bengals are at the 2-2 Ravens.
Ravens by 3.
Great game.
So the Ravens are up 17, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. What do you think happens?
We were watching.
That's
that
what happens every home game for the Ravens.
Right.
We were watching that pregame, Fred, in the press box, and I was very disappointed that they didn't beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You were like, the Bills are going to come back, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, when Patrick Queen dropped that interception, I said to Fred, if they come back, that's going to be the play.
Yeah, they overcame that dropped interception by Patrick Queen the week before.
Yeah.
Evidently, he got bad hands.
Yeah.
Because that's twice I saw him get hit in the 6. And I saw the play that Evan's talking about. I can't believe he didn't catch that.
Yes, Queen. I'm gonna take Baltimore to win, and I'm gonna lay the points. Tough call, but
this is a division game.
Tough one.
I'm going to take Baltimore 2, and I'm going to take them to cover, but that secondary against that pass offense at Cincinnati does scare me.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens just to the home team. If the game were in Cincinnati, as you like to say, I would probably go the other way.
Yeah.
Tough division game. I think these are two really good football teams, pretty evenly matched teams. I'll take the Ravens.
If I didn't hate the Bengals, I'd take them. I'm taking the Ravens. Monday night, the Raiders 1-3 at the Chiefs 3-1.
Kansas City by 7.5.
7.5. I just saw a stat of like Kansas City's record in division. It's ridiculous. I am pulling for Josh. I'm going to take Kansas City to win. I do think the Raiders put up some points, so I will take that 7.5 points. But I like Kansas City to win.
I'm going to take Kansas City, and I'm going to take them to win big.
Ooh, Josh.
The best quarterback in the league right now, in my mind, is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I trust him.
Controversial
yeah,
take
that's
there.
going out on a limb.
I will take Kansas City as well, but I will be with Deuce. I will take the hook.
I'm with Evan. I think Kansas City rolls to a win here. All right, now we go back to 1 o'clock, and the 1-3 Lions are at the 1-3 Patriots.
Patriots by 3.5.
3.5.
I don't know who the sharps like, Fred. I'm sorry. I don't have the information for you today.
Okay.
Well, the Deuce likes New England. I'm going to take the Patriots. I will lay the points. I think they hold the Lions to around 20 points. I got something, 27, 17, somewhere in that range. I think they win, not exactly handily, but by a score and a half or so.
Yeah, I'll take the Patriots too, but I think this is a close one. I think you said 3.5.
3.5.
I think it's a 3-point game.
Oh,
the hoof.
I don't know if Freddie will be able to take that. Your ticker. I worry about you.
Yeah.
I worry about you. I am going to take the Patriots as well, and I am going to take them to cover by the slimmest of margins, 27-23. But that's enough for a cover with a 3.5 point spread.
I had a dream
last
night, and I'm not going to pick this, but I had a dream that the Patriots won this game like 43-7.
It's funny. I had a dream that a guy that I coached baseball with at Peabody Little League last night was named the new head coach of the New York Jets.
Okay.
Sean Flanagan.
Yeah.
New head coach of the Jets.
The name sounds right.
What was the score of the Thanksgiving game where they wore the throwbacks, Brady long hair?
Oh,
It might have been 43-7.
It was, maybe that was
No. That game was close. That game was tied after 3 quarters, and the Patriots won it with a 21-point
Who was the quarterback
quarter.
who just started absolutely imploding in that game? It was one of those old backups.
Was it Orlovsky?
Of course it wasn't Matthew Stafford, because why would the starting quarterback play against the Patriots?
No, it was somebody even worse than Orlovsky, I feel. I can't remember. But I remember the Deion Branch touchdown.
He played a great 3 quarters, and then he threw, I think he had 2 picks in the 4th quarter.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis steamrolled some guy.
I'm
going
to say that Devin McCourty had a pick in that game in the red uniforms. Yeah. It was like 45-24, something like that. But it was 24-24 after 3 in that game.
It wasn't.
But
I got to look who that was.
I am going to say the Patriots win, and I think they score some points. They may not all be offensive points. 30-27.
Ooh,
Patriots win.
A cover for Detroit.
A cover for Detroit. So that's it. All right.
Fred is shook.
Fred, I got your red zone stats.
What's that? Okay.
All right. So in 4 games this year, the Patriots have been to the red zone 10 times. So that's 2.5 times a game. Last year, they went 64 times in 17 games, which is 3.8 times per game. So over a red zone drive per game more last year.
But I just want because there was the Buffalo game. There's some games in there that skew it. So, I mean, through the first 4 games.
No, but he's telling you they've been in there over a possession less per game than last year.
But he did over 16 games, 64 trips.
Why do you have to make everything so complicated?
I can do
the
it,
answer to the question is always simple. You guys can overcomplicate
Up
this
to
stuff.
This point,
they haven't been in the red zone often. You're correct.
I know, but it might even be worse than he's saying, is what I'm saying.
They were a top 10 red zone scoring team last year, 7th in the league. This year, there's 20. They are 21st.
But he's asking how many times they were in the red zone,
Red-
not how
red
many
zone
times they've converted.
opportunities.
Red zone opportunities.
Well, they're
he
getting
gave
to the
you
red
the
zone
numbers.
less.
They're getting to
They've
the
only
red
been
zone.
there.
Okay,
And in one of those games, they were there twice as often as they normally are.
All right.
The other 3 games, they weren't there at all.
You know who can pick that conversation up? John Rook in the playbook. 'Cause
Please don't.
He's up next, so he can continue that conversation. As for us, we'll see you next
Gives
Tuesday.
you the information, you ignore it.
What's that? Oh, the read. I got to do a read. Oh, this is
End of show.
Which
that
one?
There
Which
you go.
one? End of
Right
show.
there.
I got all these reads here. This is from the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. They bring us the show, and great memories are made in Massachusetts no matter how you choose to make them, indoors or outdoors, scenic views or city vibes, solo or family style, whatever moves you, whatever the season, plan your perfect Massachusetts getaway at visit-ma.com. All right, so pregame show is at 10? 10:45. 10:45. And then the postgame show. See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original